Hello, everyone. Wow, so many in chat already. I'm going to preface this with we've had a few frame drops today. Our internet was completely out yesterday. Like, our ISP is doing a number on us. But anyway, so if there's a couple frame drops, that's why. Nothing to be concerned about, unless of course we completely cut out, knock on wood. Hopefully that won't happen. So we are going to go all the way up to the top. Let's see, Allie, she says, wow, 6:01, guess I'll be back in a bit. Yeah, Allie was here a little bit early. Hallie, hello. Melissa, hello. Let's see, Diane, hello. And Tyler, hello. Lozzie says, I've slept for 3 hours, so I could be here, and yet I still have a headache. But I'm here. No stupid headache's gonna stop me. Oh, Lozzie, you're sweet. Well, if it hurts too much, just rest up. I literally feel your pain today. I've had one today as well, but I took something, so we should be good to go. I'm drinking some lemon and ginger tea to go along with it, so... Let's see. Ellen, hello. Yvonne says, I've stayed up as not joined in a live chat for ages, not working as on furlough, so can catch up on sleep in the morning. Aw, sounds good, Yvonne. Thanks for being here. Pam, hello. Let's see. Shannon, hi. Aspie, hello. Let's see. Make sure I'm not missing anyone. Scroll down. Hi, someone. Hi, Patricia. Hi, Emma. Hi, Angela. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. Before I forget, Emma, I was thinking about it tonight, and I've been thinking more about trying like loose leaf tea, and you seem to be my tea gal. So if you have any recommendations for a good website for tea, shoot me a message on Instagram or in my email or something, because I want to start branching out with my tea choices. So let's see, Lily Bombanissima. I'm gonna go with Lily. I'm gonna call you Lily. Hi, Lily. Welcome. Hi, Loretta. So hello to everyone coming on in. So we are going to be using Ergosofts today. They are probably the pencil that I am most familiar with. I haven't used them in a little bit. But to recap, we had our Faber-Castell Polychromos here. We had our Prismacolor color pencils here, and we did Arteza watercolor pencils here. So we are going to jump in on those. Before I do, I want to let you all know, so I know normally I don't stream on the weekends. Not this coming weekend, but next weekend. Plum Deluxe. Okay, cool. Hi, Robin. Not this weekend, but next weekend, there's going to be a Harry Potter Colorathon. There is a little picture about it on my Instagram. I will get a command set up with the schedule so everyone can see, but there's a good handful of us doing it. We are going to be coloring from... I can pull it out here, this Harry Potter book here, but I'll have 2 slots next weekend, so stick around for that. But sooner than that, hi Deborah, sooner than that, this weekend, it'll be Sunday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, so that'll be, 7 p.m. my time. I'm going to do something a little bit different, I suppose. So for those of you that are familiar with Color with Faithful Girl, you know that she has been building these tiny little mini dollhouse kits. Oh, no worries, Aspie. These tiny little mini dollhouse kits. And so I was intrigued, and I got one. This one here. And the one we're going to do is this one here. We're going to be building this. But the fun part is we're actually going to be doing a duo stream. So this is the one I'm doing. She's doing like a little mansion one, I think. But anyway, we are going to be over on Belinda's stream this weekend. So like I said, Sunday, 7 p.m. I'm going to do a little advert for it on Instagram and everything. So you'll have all the information. But if you are probably wanting to watch... Oh, perfect. Thank you, Shannon. That right there is the link to the Harry Potter Colorathon. I'll have to go back and grab that. So Tiesta tea you can get on Amazon, has some really tasty loose leaf teas as well. Oh, awesome. Okay, cool. But yeah, so this Sunday, Belinda and I, it's going to be, she's going to build hers, I'm going to build mine. I'll probably glue my fingers together. So if you are looking for something entertaining to watch on Sunday, I will be over on Belinda's. And that's, like I said, that's Color with Faithful Girl. Shannon, can you drop a link for, or Lozzie, can you drop a link for Belinda's channel in chat? Like I said, there'll be more information to come. I'm going to be making a little thing for it tonight, and then we're going to post on it. Oh, you had no idea we're here, Emily, until I just refreshed? Oh, hi, Lozzie. But yeah, so, yeah, Sunday evening, we are going to be doing that. One second. Hold on. All right. So yeah, it'll be something a little fun and different and probably hilarious. This will be my first dual stream, so it should be fun. I'm going to be on Skype, and then we'll be over on Belinda's channel. So there's that. Lots to do in the next coming weekends. But aside from that, we're going to jump in. I tried to remove all of these violin ones, so we're going to... I clearly missed a couple. I got to go back through my song list. Anyway, so we're going to jump in using Ergosoft here. And yeah, let's jump right to it. I don't think we'll finish it today. If we don't finish it today, we'll definitely finish it Monday. I'm trying to think if there were any other announcements. I don't think so. I don't think I have announcements going on. So yeah, why don't we jump on in? So let's see. I'm lucky to be here with all the internet issues I keep having. That's apparently in the lines. Oh yeah, Loretta, I am right there with you. And it's just like us trying. We finally had to go down to our physical internet building, like our local office, and talk to them there, because every time we call customer service here, like nobody knew. Like they have their standard, you know, like troubleshooting thing, like, oh, here, let me restart the modem, let me do this, let me do that. And I'm like, let's just go ahead and call a tech out. And it's just like, oh great, call a tech out that probably won't find anything and then will charge us. So anyway, long story short, we had to go down to the office, and turns out it was just like an account issue. Somebody had like unchecked something, and so anyway, it was super confusing, but it's fixed now, thank goodness. So yeah, I feel you on that. What color are you going to start with? I'm not sure yet if we should start with leaves or the bird. I'm leaning towards like green leaves, but I kind of feel like, you know, we've done green, blue. Let's start with the bird, actually. Let's choose a bird color we haven't done yet. So we have red and green, blue and purple. We have kind of a brown and yellow. Let's see. Oh, you can just type exclamation point email in chat, just like so. There you go. So let's do... Oh, I know, I had a tech out and everything, got a new modem, etc. And after months and months, they're checking the lines again. Yeah. Gotta love internet companies, man. It's a racket, I tell you. They make it so there's only like one internet company available to you, and then it's just like, come on. Sounds good, Pam. Hi, Allison. I don't know if I want to do red, because we just did kind of like reddish stuff with this one. I'm kind of leaning towards, we did blue and purple, but I'm kind of leaning towards like maybe an all blue bird. I do like blue. I like blue quite a bit. All right, let's go ahead and zoom on in here. Let's see. We've got a few blue colors available here. Maybe we did like a blue and orange. That could be pretty. What do you think? Blue and orange? A red bird? No. Hi, Kenny. That nice and bright. Make sure this is nice and in focus. There we go. There we go. Yeah, I've heard not as great things about Comcast either. I think we had Comcast when we were in Oregon, but we've got a company called Suddenlink down here, and it's just heaps of fun. It's funny, if you just search Suddenlink, like in Twitter, you know, because usually you can check there, you know, if there's any, you know, outages or anything. Oh, were you, Lazzy? Tuscan Red? Well, we're using Staedtler Ergosoft, Allison, so I don't have a Tuscan Red. But yeah, so if you search like Suddenlink on there, like everybody is like, yeah, up in arms about Suddenlink. It's pretty hilarious. Yeah, I kind of like that, Allison. That's what I was thinking. We'll do a couple variations on the blue and then add in some other colors as well. So with the 36 set of Staedtler Ergosoft, you have 6. We're waiting to see if the electric company is actually going to go ahead and offer their own internet service to customers. I know. I wish I wish we had access to fiber internet out here. That would be amazing. But where we're at exactly, they don't have that. Hi, Shara. Okay, so these are our six colors that we have available for our blues. So we are going to start with number 33, and then we're going to grab number 63 and number 35. And as always, because I tend to do this with my Ergosoft, we are going to have number 10, this yellow, out because I tend to use it as a highlight. It's selling 150 set of Prismacolors for $70 US. Dang, Robin, that's great. That's a great price. Hi, Crystal. All right, so let's get these sharpened real quick here. Thanks for that, Shannon. Looks like the frame drops kind of even themselves out, so yay. I honestly had no idea if I was even going to be able to stream tonight, because like I said yesterday, we had no internet, but husband was my big brave hero and went down and talked to the internet company. There are very few things in life that thoroughly frustrate me. That is when electronics don't work the way they're supposed to, and talking to our ISP. Not just customer service in general, it's just the ISP. That and like Walgreens. It's like those automated computer things where you're trying to get through to somebody, but you have to go through like 15 minutes of, you know, answering all these questions to a computer that can't understand what you say half the time anyway, and it's just like, ah. That's what the electric company here will be using, the fiber optics, which will take ages for them to get put in. Yeah. Just need that everywhere. Okay, so here, let's lighten this just a tad. There we go. All right, so we are going to go ahead and start with the weather here. The weather here is hot. It's pretty, yeah, it's pretty warm. We've been indoors probably a bit more than usual. How do you use, let's see, how do you use to keep the Ergo sharpened? Are you talking about the sharpener? If you're asking about the sharpener, exclamation point, sharp. Finally added that as a command. Also, the name of the sharpener is in the description below. It is the Doll, here we go, haha, Doll 133 sharpener. Okay, and I just dumped pencil dust all over it. Oh, awesome, Allison. Yeah, Donna Sharp actually got this sharpener for me, and I absolutely love it. Okay. Let's see. Hi, Charlotte. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start with this blue. Let's start here. Now, Ergosofts are a wax-based pencil, but they are a harder lead than Prismacolor. So this technique that you're going to be using to blend these is going to be more similar to a technique that you would use with, you know, Arteza or Faber-Castell. So, you know, layers, you know, maybe start heavier on one side, but then fade out your color as you go in. You know what? I didn't grab a contrasting color either. Let's go ahead and grab number 2. Let's see, what pencils was that? Going back as fast as they came in. Which pencils was that? Okay, so then we're going to start on this side. Let's see, is that bright enough? Go a little bit lighter. Okay. Maybe. I'll wait till it catches up and see if that's too bright. A little bit of that darkness here. All right, and then we're gonna go ahead and grab the number 63. Did you hear that Arteza has metallic watercolor palette? I did, someone. In fact, I've got that one right here. I did a review on these ones. So these are them right here. And it's really interesting because it comes with a black palette to test them out on, as well as a white palette, and it's actually interesting. There is a significant difference between the two on white versus black paper. So yes, I did, and I enjoy them. I haven't had a chance to use them on a page yet, but I probably should here at some point. I mean, I tested them out and everything, but yeah. Okay. All right, so like I said, now we're going to go ahead and use number 63. 63. We're going to go over that previous color. The Ergosofts with Johanna Basford illustrations. Like, this is quintessentially me. I'm amazed I don't go through these sets faster, truthfully. Go. Aren't they? Yeah, they're really pretty. Hi, Aspie. Oh, I think I said hi to you already. I was just like, oh, wait a minute, everybody's saying hi to Aspie. I was like, no, I think I remember reading her name earlier. If I missed anyone, I apologize. And to all you lurkers, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. All right, number 35. Going real lightly here. And kind of go over the other blues. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead. Oh, deli pencils. I haven't heard of those. Let's see. Why is it someone is always making or has made cookies when you're live streaming? I'm making the 3-ingredient peanut butter cookies. Nice, Loretta. Well, let's see. I made the last of the frozen cookie dough in the freezer today. There were 6 of them. So we made the last of those. And then for dinner tonight, I made kind of like a, it's not a true shepherd's pie, but it's like the closest that I can think of that it's similar to. I cooked up some, and I apologize in advance if anybody watching this is a vegetarian or anybody watching this after I'm done is a vegetarian. But I cooked up some ground beef, onions, garlic, a little bit of tomato paste, some beef broth, and I cooked all that up, added some peas in there, and then used a drop biscuit recipe. And so I put it all in like a big 9x13 pan, and then spread out the biscuits on top, and then baked it for like 20 minutes. It was actually really good. I tried it one time before. Sorry, we're using number 2. I tried it one time before, but I didn't put nearly enough moisture in it, so it was kind of dried out. And I used the wrong biscuit recipe, like I used the rollout biscuit recipe, when in reality I should have used the drop biscuit recipe. And so I switched it up today, and it came out really good. I mean, the kids actually ate it, and if the kids actually ate it, then, you know, I count that a win. Yeah, and I know a shepherd's pie is like actually with lamb. That's why I said it's kind of like it. It's not shepherd's pie, but it's like, it's somewhat similar-ish. It's beef with seasoning and onions and garlic and peas baked under biscuits. So, I mean, like I said, it's not a true shepherd's pie. It's just, you know, my weird concoction. Let's see. I like the deli watercolor pencils myself. They're light and pastel colors. All right. Let's see. I love the Ergosoft because you don't have to sharpen that often. You really don't. You really don't. Like, I'll come to it and be like, well, I guess I didn't wear that. I mean, there's a reason that I don't. I mean, I've colored how many pictures with it? And I still have, like, a ton. Did you know that when I watch artists trying to color and even study, it keeps me motivated? Oh, awesome, someone. That's good. Why? Are you making vegetarians eat it? Well, no, but, you know, some people are sensitive to cooked meat. Just, you know, try to be sensitive. I'm using 33. I try to, you know, be all-inclusive. I can't necessarily give it up, but I respect those that do, just because I don't have that kind of stamina. Let's see. If I seem quiet today when I'm on this... Oh, I'm sorry, Sherry. Well, just, you know, relax, watch the coloring, and just chill out. You're good. You're good. Take it easy. Let's see. Now you're making me hungry. That's how I make it. Yeah, see? All right. Let's see. We're going to add a little bit more of number 2 here. I think Ergosoft's also really trained me in kind of a, you know, highly colorful palette. Just because, I mean, I use the full range of 36 nearly, so. Biscuits aren't that hard to make. Self-rising flour, water/milk, oil, maybe an egg, and mix it together. You can make drop biscuits or roll them out and dust in your flour. Yeah, so the recipe that I follow, it's a Betty Crocker baking powder recipe. And it is just regular flour. It's salt, tiny bit of sugar. What else? Oh, it's like 2 cups of flour. I forget the salt and sugar ratio, but it's not very much. And then half a cup of butter, so like a whole stick of butter. 3 teaspoons baking powder. What else? Oh, and then for regular biscuits, it's 3/4 cups of milk. For drop biscuits, it's a full cup of milk. Anyway, so you know, you break in the butter and everything and mix it all up. They're really good. They're really good. It was super like light and fluffy. Okay, and let's see. We're gonna go ahead and we might do like 3 sets of colors here because like I see an opportunity for a color here, here, and here. Exactly. There you go, Kenny. All right, so let's go ahead and do, I want to go ahead and do the blue here. We will do like 2 different kinds of blues and an orange. I think that would be good. I'm going to turn this here. Got a little bit more progress done on, yeah, ice cream roll, Great British Baking Show page I was working on. That's right, Lozzie. I don't know, someone. It's, I think eventually it will, but I think it's gonna take some time. Life is interesting at the moment. Yeah, so Lozzie, my kids were watching the Great British Baking Show with me, and they were doing Biscuit Week. My kids just seemed really confused, so I had to explain to them that in the UK, biscuits are cookies. Which also, okay, I don't follow a recipe, I just toss ingredients together and go. You got me hooked on that British baking show. Oh, good, I'm glad, Jackie. Huh? Your other bird circle, I will have to look, Sherry. I probably did, but if I didn't, I'll hop on I assume it's Facebook. I'll hop on Facebook after stream today. But yeah, so here's my question. So every time they make biscuits, we're using number 63 on the baking show. They like them to be like crisp biscuits, like, you know, they want it to have like a crunch kind of thing. So what about like soft, chewy, like chocolate chip cookies? Do you call those cookies? Or do you call those like chocolate chip biscuits? I have wondered. And also, what's the difference between cookies and biscuits then, if you do use the word cookie? So very confusing. Hi, Alyssa. Hi, Patty. Yeah, with baking, I tend to follow more of a recipe. We're using number 35 now. Baking, I have a tendency to follow recipe just because, you know, a lot more things can go wrong with baking if you don't follow a recipe. But with cooking, like tonight for like the beef mixture for what I was making, I didn't follow a recipe for that. You know, I made things like that enough that I knew that, okay, you know, we probably need some tomato paste and we need some moisture. So there's the broth, you know, and anytime you cook onions and garlic with beef, you know, it's hard to go wrong with that. So I've cooked enough that I know kind of what tastes well together, but that's fair, Shannon. That's fair. Yes, I get that. Been binging The Block on Prime. Nice. Yes, the big biscuits with chocolate chips are called cookies. Yeah, but you're calling them big biscuits too. See, when I think big biscuits, I think, you know, a really fluffy, like, Buttermilk biscuit. I think we call them cookies, but there are so many different kinds of biscuits in the UK. That's fair. That's fair. I don't remember who it was. Who was it that suggested the Blacklist last time we streamed? Because I started watching that. I'm actually kind of enjoying it. James Spader, I've never been like, oh man, James Spader's in that. I gotta go watch that kind of thing. The last thing I saw James Spader in was when he played, we're using number 2 now, Robert California on The Office. And I don't know, like he's got mannerisms about me that, I don't know, I feel like he's a little too, full of himself. But for this particular role, it kind of works. So I haven't said, I wouldn't say that I love it yet, but I will say that I don't want to stop watching it yet. So let's see, what was my favorite? My favorite of what, someone? Like my favorite bird, or are we talking cookies? I mean, is a Jaffa cake a biscuit or a cake? Well, they made Jaffa cakes in, we're using 33 now. I watched an episode where they made Jaffa cakes, and it looks like it was like a legitimate cake, like think almost cupcake. And then they put like a little piece of like some sort of jelly on top, a little jelly disc, and then they dipped it on chocolate. So I would classify that more, like if you were to break it down into something simple, I would classify a Jaffa cake closer to a cupcake than a cookie. But if we're talking like the box ones, because I've seen, on Doctor Who, I've seen the Matt Smith character eat Jaffa cakes, and those look more like cookies. So I think it might depend on how it's made. Me, really good show. Yes. Okay, Robin. Yeah, I started watching it. I'm still in season 1. I'm making my way through there. There's a surprising amount of episodes. Number 63. There's a surprising amount of episodes per season. But because it's still going on, right? Has the show finished? Let's see. Oh, food? My favorite kind of food? Well, I think that's a little bit hard to pinpoint just because, yeah, I mean, I like lots of different kinds of food. Probably I have desserts mostly, but I can't eat those as often. Jaffa cake biscuit. Jaffa cake is a cake. Biscuits go soft when they're stale, whereas cakes go hard when stale. Oh, I like that classification. I like it. I like that. Okay, so that's that blue part. Let's also do this tail in these same blue colors. Let's see, I was at the store today and saw Stash Tea, which is a good brand, and they have one that is fusion green and white tea. Okay, I'll have to check it out. I'm up to season 7, I think. Yeah, I think that's about as far as it goes at this point. Blacklist can be frustrating sometimes. Still going on? Okay, awesome. Yeah, so I'm the kind of person who, number 33, like, I like to know what's going to happen. Like finding out who's going to die in a movie or what's going to happen doesn't ruin it for me. I find that I enjoy it more when I feel like I'm almost like in on what's going on. Like I don't like being confused and guessing the whole time. Like, okay, because obviously I'm in season 1 and there's a lot of questions about, who certain characters are, how they're related, if they're related, all that kind of stuff. Number 63. And so when I start a new show, I like to go on Wiki and kind of get an idea of where the show is going. Because first of all, if it's a show that like got canceled and is going to leave me in a cliffhanger, I don't want to waste my time watching it because that's just going to frustrate me. But I saw that there were so many seasons. So I did a quick scan. So I've got not in detail, we're using 35, but I've got a little bit of an idea kind of what's happening. So I'm not nearly as confused, but I'm enjoying the ride. Hi, Kelly. Let's see. Big argument in UK is the Jaffa cake versus biscuit. Gluten-free. Hi, Della. Well, they did a, let's see, number 2. They did a gluten-free challenge, too, on there. I'll say my most recent experience with gluten-free stuff is I had to make the snack in my son's class, and there was a girl there that was gluten-free. And so I did my research so that she could be included in on the snack. I'm using 63. And I figured out how to make gluten-free sugar cookies. It was interesting. The texture was interesting. The flour I used, because she was also allergic to tree nuts, the flour I used, I think, was a tapioca flour, and it was a little bit grittier. And then I think it was King Arthur brand. I also happened to find a pancake mix that I was able to use, which was actually really good. The next day they weren't as good because I made them the night before, but straight off the griddle, they were pretty tasty. Let's see, like those waffle thingamabobs you put over the top of your coffee to warm it up. What are those, Loretta? Or are you talking about like those, what are they called? They're like a strudel something or other. Hi, Jay. iPad, is it a computer or a phone? Because you can make a phone call. Well, you can make a phone call on a computer too. I'd say that it's definitely more a computer than a phone. Let's see, they were too sweet for you. Mary Berry is the queen of baking in the UK. That's what I hear. Did you use xanthan gum? I did not. The recipe I found, I want to say it was already in the flour. The xanthan gum was already in the flour. Okay, so let's go ahead. We're gonna move on to a different kind of blue. We're just gonna grab the other, let's see. We're not gonna use this one. We're gonna use these three here. So we're gonna use number 3, number 30, and number 10. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I only like just one because they're really sweet. I've only had them twice because they're so pricey. Yeah, are they like stroof waffles or strew something? I think I know what you're talking about. I think. Okay. All right. So now we're going to go ahead and use number 3. A little bit different shade of blue. Like I said, there's about 3 different shades in the 36 set of blue. And the trick is, the birds look all fluffy. That's good. The trick is just to switch up the combination so that you get different looking combinations of blue. This will stand out more from the others because I'm going to be using the yellow as a highlight, as my light color in the previous one was that kind of teal color. Have I ever eaten noodles? Of course I've eaten noodles. Like, do you mean like in pasta or like Thai noodles or ramen noodles? Noodles in themselves are a pretty general term. Okay, so that was 3. I wasn't pushing real hard for that. I want to say they're Stroop waffles. Thank you. Yeah, I was adding an F, not Stroof waffles. Stroop waffles. All right, number 30. I think the thing with UK food that I would have a hard time getting on board with, and I'm probably gonna get some scowling looks for this one, is the full English breakfast. So when it comes to like a full breakfast, like if I'm going savory, a full breakfast for me is something like, you know, eggs, hash browns, bacon, maybe an English muffin, maybe toast. But other than that, or sometimes there's a place I like to go to here that makes really good biscuits and gravy. And so I'll also I'm grabbing number 3 again. I want to go a little darker on the outside. So biscuits and gravy are also good. But otherwise, you know, I like things like pancakes, waffles, not that I eat them that often, but if I'm going to sweet breakfast, pancakes, waffles, French toast, you know, etc. But then, you know, the full English breakfast, there's beans, and I get the sausage, obviously, because everybody, like, you know, my husband likes sausage, but I think it's the beans that throw me. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, Lozzie. Yeah, I don't know. Beans for breakfast kind of throws me. Like, what is the appeal of beans on toast? Number 30. I suppose if it's something you grew up with. I was watching How to Dad the other day, and he was talking about making a toasty for his kid. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm thinking, you know, like grilled cheese or something like that. But then he put canned spaghetti on it. And like, this isn't me disparaging. This is just me like looking in awe, because I was just like, wait a minute. So here's my question. Is canned spaghetti with cheese like made into, I'm using number 10, into like a toasty, is that an Australian/New Zealand thing? Is it just New Zealand? Or I had never in my life heard of putting spaghetti in a toasty. I mean, I guess it'd be no, I mean, I like spaghetti, and I like to have bread with my spaghetti, and I like cheese on my spaghetti. So I suppose you're just combining it all? It would make sense. Tell me I'm not insulting. I'm not insulting. I am asking and I am questioning because I am curious. I am curious. Hi, Caitlin. Really want authentic ramen noodles, the kind you microwave well in the university account. Yeah, I've eaten I think I finally stopped eating those when I was pregnant with my first daughter because the sodium, man, was so much. I just couldn't handle it. I couldn't handle it. I like beans on toast, but not for breakfast. Is it like our version of baked beans where they're mildly sweet? Is that what it is? You could eat pasta every day. Yes, delicious. Wait, the English breakfast. What did you do? What did it do to you? Nothing! It didn't do anything to me! I was just curious. I'm sorry, I take it back. Baked beans on toast, not from can, is delicious. Wait a minute. I mean, because we have baked beans, but it's in the can. So do you... If it's not in the can, how do you make it, Patty? Like, is there... I mean, obviously you can make it without. Like, we'll cook fresh pinto beans and everything. So how do you make your baked beans, Patty? Can put anything in a toasty? That's what I hear. That's what I hear. I had just never... When you visit me, I'll convert you. Okay. But yeah, that was a new one for me. I had never heard of a toasty with spaghetti in it. And it was just like, okay. All right, the number 30. But then on the other hand, like, I also know that a lot of people are... Like, why are you eating so much sugary stuff for breakfast? Which is true. I mean, I suppose, like, having, a stack of pancakes with a bunch of syrup or jam on it or whatever isn't going to give you, the nutritious boost you need to start your day right. I think our baked beans are different to American baked beans. That's what I wondered. So, like, for our baked beans, usually it's in a can. A lot of people don't go to the effort to make fresh baked beans. But it's like they'll have like maple or bacon, like not like it's maple bacon flavored or like original, like the Bush's baked beans, I guess. But they're like kind of sweet and they're a little bit smaller than regular pinto beans. Let's see. My crockpot baked beans are amazing. Crystal, send me the recipe because I'm really curious. My uncle makes the best baked beans with molasses, bacon, and onions. Oh, Patty, that actually does sound really good. My husband would probably love, like, fresh homemade baked beans. I've always been curious, though, because when they say, beans on toast, I imagine, like, the baked beans. Like I said, we'll put, like, pinto beans in the crock pot and we'll cook them up. The kids like to, eat it with cornbread and, cheese. My family likes to use pepperoncinis with it. But then we'll save the leftovers for the next day and we'll put them in a saucepan and we'll mash them up and make refried beans. And so then we'll have burritos the next day. Ours are haricot beans in tomato sauce. Are haricot like the brand or like, like there's pinto beans, white beans, or is it the type of bean? My mom once put beans on toast, raw bacon, tossed in the broiler for a couple of minutes. Put in front of us. The bacon was raw. The edges of the bread burned. Oh my gosh, Kenny, what did you do? Like, did you have to eat it? I mean, if it's anything like me, like if I'm making the effort to make my kids food, I'm like, you have to at least try it. But that sounds painful. Okay, number 3. I mean, I've done bacon in the oven on the broiler, but I mean, toast and bacon cook at very different speeds. So I'd have a hard time with that. But I'm also, my husband likes really crispy bacon. He doesn't like it chewy, and I'm right there with him. I mean, I'll eat it if it's, if I'm at a restaurant and maybe it's not as crispy as I'd like. But I do like... Okay, haricot. So it's haricot or haricot? It's a type of bean. The T is silent. Okay. I'll have to look it up. B&M are the closest store-bought to homemade. I like McDonald's London breakfast. Morning, it's always beautiful. Oh. That's when I started to learn to cook. Yeah, I can't do raw bacon. That wasn't even the worst meal she made. Number 30. I will say I think my husband appreciated one of the things is that I know how to cook. Don't get me wrong. I've had some flops in my time and it's taken, I remember one time I was under the impression that even if I put a chicken that was, still semi-frozen in the crock pot, it would be cooked by the time it was dinner. It was not. It was still raw in the middle, and that was a disaster. Number 10. I've also made some incredibly puffy pizza crusts. Pizza crust has been a hard thing. And also making like an over medium egg. That one I still struggle with sometimes because 50% of the time I'll accidentally... Harrico. Okay, Harrico. Gotcha. I'll accidentally pop the yolk. Number 3. Which, of course, I just get so frustrated with. I cannot tell you how many times I have just chucked a fried egg into the sink, pan included. I'm like, forget it! I can't make this stupid egg! I tend to have tantrums in the kitchen. Occasionally. Yeah, I'm glad you survived. I gave it to my stepdad. He would eat anything, obviously. That's hilarious. All right, we're also gonna grab that number 2, the same red that we used on here, and we're gonna add a little bit of that to this blue also. On the plus side, I think my medicine worked, and I think my headache is about gone, so yay for that. Hi, Kat! We're discussing recipes, breakfasts, preferences, recipes for baked beans. Yeah, I've never been to London. I want to go at some point. Let's see, places I've been to. Oh, look, quick question. Does it count? My mom didn't like to cook. It wasn't even going to try. Does it count for visiting a place if you had a layover there? Does that count? So if that counts, I've been to Germany, technically. Technically. We all have tantrums. I know, right? Okay, we are going to this I part here. We're going to go ahead and do number 33. So I've been to Victoria and Vancouver, Canada. I went there when I was in high school. Before you needed a passport to go to Canada. I've covered pretty much the entire western half of the U.S. You know, over various times because I lived in Colorado for a while, and you know we've done lots of road trips and whatnot. Let's see, I've been to New York. Not too many East Coast states have I been to. What else? So obviously I've been to Scotland. We had a layover in Germany. Let's see, number 63. Let's see, I want to say the layover on the way back was Germany also. I'd like to go to Ireland someday. Ireland would be cool. What book is this from? Alyssa, this is from her free download. Oh, that wasn't in frame, sorry. This was from her free download Flourish. You can type !Flourish, but it's also in the description below. This one is a free download, so all you need is a printer to download this one from. Here, we'll zoom out. You can see this is the bird page here. Got 4 different birds. And so in the description box, you can type just !email. There you go. And it's just hello@emilyillustrator.com. I should put it in the description box, but yeah, it's just !email. But yeah, so these are 4 birds. There's loads of them too. I want to say how many pages, like 8 or 9? I don't remember exactly. But yeah, just johannabasford.com/flourish, and you can find the download there. There we go. Perfect. But yeah, let's see. Have I been anywhere else? I mean, I've been a lot in the US. All right. Let's see. Number 35. But yeah, so Canada and Scotland is mostly it. I'd love to do more traveling for sure. Been to Greece, New York City, Iceland, Finland, and Scotland, and lived in France and Spain. Oh, Lozzie, that's so cool. 12. There's 12 pages. Thank you, Jackie. Couldn't quite remember. It's been a little while since I printed it out. Okay, we're gonna grab number 2. Ooh, applewood smoked bacon is really good. That's really good. But Victoria was absolutely beautiful. So this would have been back in 2002 and 2003. But I went and I remember we went to a bank to go trade in our American money for Canadian money. And I remember telling the banker just how beautiful I thought it was. And she was like, huh, really? Like I guess because she lives there, she just didn't, you know, I guess not become numb to how pretty it is, but you know, when you see it every day, it's not, you know, as obvious maybe. What paper did you print on? Lisa, you can type ! paper, and that will give you the link also. It is a 80-pound matte cardstock. It is smooth. It doesn't have a ton of tooth to it, but this is what I use and I enjoy it. And you know, we were able to use watercolors on here, and it only buckled a little bit. Now we didn't like load it up with water, but yeah, that's what we used there. Okay, so let's see. Let's go ahead and let's see. Let's use our other blue combination on the very top of the head here. And then we're going to grab our orange color combination, start putting that in, and then we'll fill in with blue where else, you know, wherever else we want it to be. All right, and then number 30. Hi, Caitlin, Ramona, California. Well, welcome. Welcome, welcome. There you go. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys. Now I remember one of the other announcements I have. If you see our most recent member, Mark Oatman, he joined. And if you look right here, I'll put my hand here, right here, boop, we hit 20 members, which means we unlocked another emote. So I wanted to ask you all, what do you think our new emote should be? All right, let's go ahead and grab, we're gonna grab number 73. Yeah, so we've unlocked another emote. I was thinking like maybe a cat style emote, but I'm not entirely sure. And then let's see, no, let's grab number 4. Then number 43, and we might use number 10 to top it off. But yeah, we now have 20 members, and so we have unlocked another emote. For those of you that are curious, these are all of our current emotes for those that are members. If you see anybody in chat with a pencil next to them, that is because they are a member. So here are our current emotes. There we go. And yeah, so meow. And so we have unlocked another one, so it's super exciting. Let's see. Hi, Anne. 3:15 a.m. Sleepy. I'll never go overseas, even though I would love to go to England. I get extremely airsick. What if you slept the whole way, Kat? Top 2 places, Italy and London. Yeah, see, I'd love to do both of those. That's why I don't use it, but for markers, because it's not enough tooth for me. Yeah, for markers, so I tried it out with the Everblend, and the Everblends work great on it. I've been to Old Quebec City and Montreal on my honeymoon, the only time I've been out of the US. Let's see. I'm confused about the membership. I subscribed, it doesn't show me as being a member. So Charlotte, subscribing and being a member are 2 different things. Yeah, right there. Lazi did ! membership. So with subscribing, that just alerts you to whenever I upload a new video or anything else. But being a member, it's kind of a way of supporting the streamer if you want. Obviously, none of it's required, but the perk of it is you get the little pencil next to your name, and then you get access to all of the emotes that you get to use during the live chat. And then, you know, usually I'll shout out, you know, when you become a member. And so what you're looking for is you'll click that link. You're going to be looking for the join button. And if you hit the join button, then that's how you get access to all of the emotes. And, you know, if I decide in the future to do like maybe members only streams, that'll get you a part of that as well. Let's see. Once we go to London, I'm going to take the Fujifilm Libre and take pictures and post my watercolor journal with Arteza file in it. Very cool. Thanks. Let's see. We're all the rebel all-nighters. I like it. I like my all-nighters. Been to 22 states, 7 provinces, England, Wales, Iceland. Dang, Patty, you are well-traveled. London is amazing for a day or 2, but I wouldn't want to live there. From what I know, like cost of living is pretty high. That's one of the reasons that we actually, because my husband applied to, what is it, Simon Fraser in Canada. But we were kind of relieved that we ended up not going just because the cost of living in Canada is much higher than it is down here. Okay, so now we're going to start with number 73. Cost of living in Texas, like even houses are much less expensive down here. Because we've debated about staying when my husband's all done, just because for the fact that like for a house that we could get down here for 200,000, we would have to pay double that, like back, like up north, like up in Oregon. I don't like London at all, but Wales is beautiful. Emote choices, yes. I've tried the being knotted out thing, but when it comes out of sedation, it's not a pretty thing. Oh, gotcha. Oh, being knocked out. Oh, gotcha. Yes, very expensive to live in London. Yeah, so it'd be nice to visit, but I don't think I could afford to live there. Like I said, I would love to like get a summer home in the UK somewhere and just, you know, hang out there for, which would work out well if we stayed in Texas just because it's so dang hot here. All right, we're also going to use this here. So number 73. But see, I also, I don't enjoy road trips in the sense of just, you know, the hours and hours of driving. Like I find it tedious. You know, we made the trip from Oregon down here and it took us a good number of days, but we were also, you know, we had some hiccups along the way and whatnot, but yeah, I want to like go places, but it's the travel portion of it that's just a little tedious. I'm telling you, if I could like, if they could invent teleportation or like, you know, like Star Trek, the beam us over, really nice. Be really nice. Charlotte, you just became a member. Welcome to our coloring family, the little colorist package. Charlotte, you now have access to all 8 of our emotes, soon to be 9. We got to figure out what we want our next emote to be. There you go. And you've got your handy little pencil, and you'll see that there's some orange ones. The different color pencils indicate length of membership. And so, yeah, as time goes on, your color pencil will change. So welcome, and thank you so much. Okay, I'm turning chat off and just going to relax and watch, hopefully fall asleep. Sounds good, Anne. I spent the day trying to clean up my clutter room so I can make it into an office since boss decided the work from home thing is going to be permanent. Yeah, same here. I don't think my husband's office has any intention of having them go back anytime soon, which honestly I'm okay with. But thank you, Charlotte, and welcome, welcome. We need to update this. So for some reason, my thing wouldn't update. And so now I just, for the time being, I'm updating it manually till I can figure out why it's not working. So, if I could spell. Haha. There we go. Perfect. There you are. Yeah, I don't know why it wasn't updating. I think I need to do some troubleshooting as to why it doesn't work. All right, let's see. So now number 4. We'll have to update our member goal too for, what, I think at 22 or 24? Maybe it's 24 is when we get our next emote after that. But yeah, so suggestions. What would everybody like our next emote to be? Ooh, maybe I could draw like a Johanna Basford style flower, and so we could have like a Johanna Basford emote. That'd be cool. Where do you find the emojis? So if you are on your computer, you just go down where it has the little smiley face, like you would normally have put in an emote. And now there's a special little section that says Emily Illustrator, and you'll have the list for all of them. If you are on mobile, it'll be right here. Hit the little smiley face. And then it pops up and you've got all the little Emily Illustrator emotes there. I know it's not in focus, but it gives you the idea. Okay, let's see. 3:23 a.m. Oh my. Yeah, Angela, I realized that. So I had to go through a big, I was fiddling with the whole thing. So, but also, you know, it only had like the most recent. So, cause Cindy, she did a membership directly after you. So it just does the most recent one. But I've been thinking I'm going to change it so like the stream ending thing has a list of all the members' names. Like next to it, because like I have a scroll thing for like the session thing, but I'm thinking like a permanent list of everybody that is a member, just, you know, something a bit more permanent. Let's see, I'm using number 73. The membership thing is a little, you know, we've had it for about a month, but it's still kind of new for me. Hi Danielle, thank you for subscribing. We are just working on our little bird here. Aw, thanks, Charlotte. Aw, you guys are sweet. All right, let's see. Number 4. Well, complimentary color bird here. All right, and then we're going to go ahead and grab number 43. And we are going to use our yellow, I think, because it's pretty orange, and I want something to help this pop here at the end. Paint for fence, and now I need to wait for better weather. Yeah, it is just, I had this idea. So our laundry room, because we're in Texas and things get hot here so easily, our laundry room is actually not in the house. It's outside in a little connected shed. And so I had this idea to paint this Johanna Basford-esque mural on the outside of it. And then it just got too hot out here. And I was just like, nope, forget it. I'll do it come wintertime. All right, and then number 10. Oh, I'm so glad, Angela. Plus, if I'm not here to educate her on her way to become British, who will? That is true. That is true. And I'm working on it. I mean, I've got a kettle already. So, you know, baby steps. Baby steps. All right. Let's go ahead and grab... let's grab number 63. Use this. Bit of a contrasting shadow color here. But yeah, I'm looking forward to Sunday. It's something a little bit different. I think it's going to be fun. For those of you that are in here now, if you're curious, I am going to be over on Color with Faithful Girls channel Sunday evening, 7 p.m. And we are going to be putting together one of those miniature dollhouse kits. We're going to do a dual stream. I mentioned it before, but I'll probably end up gluing my fingers together or, you know, fumble and drop things with the little tweezers it takes to build those things. But yeah, it should be pretty entertaining. And then next weekend is the Harry Potter Colorathon. And so I'll get more information about that. Shannon, if you want to post that schedule there in the link, that would be, or in the chat, that would be good. But yeah, there's a handful of streamers that are going to be doing that, so that should be fun as well. Yeah, so very pleased with your progress thus far. Thank you. Maybe a kettle for emote? Oh, that's true, because we upgraded to the kettle. In UK, are stovetop kettle, electric kettle more popular? Ooh, that's a good question. Okay, we need to put some blue here. Let's see. Okay, so one. All right, let's see. Number 33. Right, and then let's grab number 35. And then just a tiny bit of yellow on the tip. Electric stovetop ones are considered quite old-fashioned nowadays, and no one uses them. Oh no, I have a kettle, but I'm old-fashioned! But I like the way it whistles. Do the electric kettles whistle? I like the whistle. All right, we are going to use my teeny tiny, let's see, I don't know where my pencil is at the moment. Oh, here's my little slide one. Thank you, Shannon. This is my little slide one here. And so we're going to use, what is this? This is number 76, our teeny tiny little brown pencil. And we're going to do the same for the leg, the cereal frame. Yes. Yeah, maybe we could do a kettle emote and, you know, we can have it versus the microwave. Everybody can choose their favorite. Microwave versus kettle. But if I've learned anything, it's that there is a little bit of an art to making tea. All right, number 73. Guys, I have so much to learn. All right, now number 10. So funny, I used to use white all the time, like as my extra light color to blend it, but yeah, now I always kind of default to the yellow. And I think that makes it look really colorful. Oh, awesome, Crystal. Thank you. I used to have a whistling kettle, but lost the whistle bit. Wait, like the lid on the front of it? Kind of lurking. I'm working on a Heather Valentine pic. Oh, nice, Kat. Says the bird is beautiful. I'm coloring with you, but have to go. Thank you. I'll finish mine in the morning. Have a great night. Sounds good, Jackie. Thanks for hanging out. All right. Well, the bird. Do that a little bit darker. There we go. Give me my purple, fast-boiling silent kettle any day. Oh, but I like the whistle. Plus, it's hilarious to see the cat reactions when the thing goes off. They're like, what on earth is that? I'm like, hee hee hee. Let's see. But I also have a filtered water stand, so I consider that electric. Ah, there you go. Give me my purple, fast-boiling silent kettle. Yeah, I like the whistle. I kind of want to do purple leaves, guys. Guys and gals. It was on the spout bit long time ago. Ah, gotcha. So here's what we're gonna do. I am in the mood for brown leaves. We'll grab a little bit of pink just in case. Or not brown leaves, sorry, purple leaves. I was thinking the word brown because I knew I wanted to like the but yeah, so Annie has turned into a little bit of a fraidy cat, and so it goes off and they all like get low to the ground and, you know, they slink away really fast. And the kids just think it's great. Like now that mommy has started drinking tea more often, it's like an event. Like they love it when I fill up the kettle and it heats up and then the whistle like goes off and everything, and then they like watching me pour it in, and then, you know, my oldest likes to smell the tea bags and guess what tea. So it's like this has become like a whole family event because mommy makes tea now. All right, let's lighten this just a tad here. There we go. All right. Stovetop kettle for French press. See, now that I've been drinking the tea more often too, I've cut back on my coffee drinking just because if the tea has caffeine, you know. All right. A little bit of a shadow. There we go. All right, so we're going to start with number 76. Yeah, we've done two with kind of green leaves, so we're gonna mix it up and do another kind of off color for our leaves here. Oh, your kids are gonna grow up British. I know, right? Purple leaves, yeah, purple leaves. Yeah, but they think it's great. I mean, it's, you know, it's kind of like a new toy. They, you know, mommy hadn't really had a kettle before, and now we got this very noisy thing that sits on our stove. It's a novelty. They'll probably get tired of it. Unless, of course, I start, like, drinking loose leaf tea, then that's gonna be, you know. Okay, question for those that drink loose leaf tea. Do you just put the tea directly in the water and then strain it out when you pour it in your cup? Or do you have one of those little cages for the tea leaves? So it's kind of like you've got a metal tea bag of sorts. So which do you prefer? I'm drinking iced tea. Does that count? I think so. Although if I've learned anything, it's that tea isn't necessarily always tea. It's very confusing. There are a lot of subtleties to tea that I just did not know. A butterfly emote? Oh, that could be pretty. I really like how each of the birds and their backgrounds contrast yet complement one another. Aw, thanks, Crystal. Well, and it was kind of fun doing them all in different pencils, too. Gives each of them, like, a very kind of distinct look. It was funny, though, I didn't realize that I kind of did opposite here because we've got, you know, blue and purple bird with a background, and then, you know, with green leaves, and, you know, we got red apples here, and now we've got the green and kind of reddish brown bird with the blue and purple background. So we kind of flip-flopped it. Let's see. No, Cage. I actually hadn't seen an electric kettle till I went to New Zealand. I put mine in tea sachets. What's a tea sachet, Emma? Are they like reusable, like cloth little bags for them? Tea strainer? Okay, I have a metal thing to put the loose tea in. Okay. I use a metal filter while steeping. Question, for those of you that have the little tea cage, I'll call it. I'm assuming it's made out of something that doesn't rust, or do you have to make sure that it's completely dry when you're done with it? Sounds good, someone. Have a great night. Strainer is the word I was trying to say. There you go. I have a teapot, but that has a tube for loose tea. Oh, I like that. And I suppose it could work too if you had a teapot that had like a strainer built into the spout. That could be interesting. I do have a teapot. It doesn't have a spout, you know, a strainer in the spout, but still be interesting. It's really bright. Let's turn this down. I'm gonna have to try tea with milk just to see how it tastes. Nod to you, Brits. See, that's the thing. Oh, thanks, Charlotte. That's the thing, is that I've been like drinking it just straight. No sweetener or anything. I was adding honey for a little bit, but otherwise I haven't been drinking it. And actually, I've been kind of enjoying it because that was one of the things with coffee, is that I always had to add some sort of sugar. And if I'm trying to cut back on sugar, just because it causes headaches, at least in me, it seemed like a logical step. Let's see. I use the steeping strainer or the metal ball. Yeah, stainless steel. Okay, it's just cloth mesh bag. Your tea comes in. They're just empty, and I put my own tea in. Ah, okay. You let yours air dry. They're usually stainless steel. My kettle has a metal strainer I can take out if I want to just heat water. Oh, see, you guys got all your fancy gadgets for making tea. There's just all these subtleties to tea I had no idea existed. No idea. This is like tea 101 for me. See, well, we trade off. I'll teach you coloring. You teach me how to make proper tea. Yeah, because I had no idea about the temperature thing that you mentioned last time, Emma. I was just like, oh, okay. It got me wondering because, you know, I was making the lemon and ginger tonight, and I steeped it for a little bit longer than you probably normally do. But then I was thinking I was pouring it in. I was just like, it's pretty hot. I wonder if I'm burning my tea. Right, we're using number 6, by the way. I don't remember if I mentioned it. Kind of go over the brown a little bit. You guys will make me a proper tea drinker by the end of all this. This time next year, I'll be, you know, drinking it, you know, in a teacup with my pinky out. Use milk in your tea? I'll do a video demo of how I make my iced mint tea. Yes! Oh, that'd be cool, Sherry. Okay, 62, because we have a mint plant outside now. 62. I'm not going to use too much because I want to leave just enough room for the pink, but we will go over the other spots here. I love Ergosoft. They're so nice. And it is kind of muted. I'm not pressing real hard. So it's not super bright, but by the time we're done, you'll see kind of the purple across the board. Right, we're gonna, do I want to switch? No, because then I have to keep switching. Where is my under? Useful. Oh, I found it! Yay! Cool. Aww! That's awesome! Tell her we said congratulations, Crystal. Start with a hot kettle. What do you mean, like heat the kettle up and then pour the water in it? I feel like I'd be asking for it to bubble back on me. Fresh mint. I know, it smells so good. Make good mint tea. You need more than one kind for the best results. Ah, okay. Well, I haven't killed the plant yet, so I'm doing good. I have the blackest thumb on the planet. Like, no joke. My husband got me this really hardy, like, I forget the name of it, but yeah, there's a good chance it's dying. I got these flowers at the farmer's market the other day. Yeah, it's dead. I've got a hanging plant I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay with. My lavender, my mint are still alive, so, you know, there's that. My eldest is expecting my first grandchild in early December. Oh, that'll be fun. For 25. Yeah, my parents have 13 grandkids total. When we announced ours, tell my parents. For my daughter, we made like a onesie with the number of grandchild that she was. Oh, look at that, I marked on there. And with my son, we put the number of grandchild he is on a mug. So that was fun because we sent it to him that way. All right, we're going to go ahead and go in now. Now that we've got our 3 colors down, we're going to darken it up a little bit. Have to heat kettle, dump water, and then boil fresh water. I don't do that, but heard it was the best. Really? Interesting. Used to give my hamster mint leaves as he loved eating them, but the scent always made him jump and wrinkle his nose. How funny. I can't do milk and tea. I don't care for the taste, but I hate sugar in my coffee. I'm strange. All these frou-frou coffees are nasty to me. Yeah, I can't do like the mochas and stuff. Like, that's just too much sugar. Like, for me, okay, we're using 76 again. For me, my coffee, unless I don't have, you know, any just regular cream, like normal creamer, you know, like half and half, I'll do like a French vanilla in it, but I won't add a ton. But if I am just making coffee just normally, I will use some just regular creamer, not flavored or anything, just, you know, half and half, a little bit of brown sugar and some cinnamon, and that is the extent of the flavor. I can't drink black coffee. It's just too bitter. Too bitter. But yeah, we'll see. Earl Grey, hot. I like that. I like that. I see you're a Patrick Stewart fan, Caitlin. I like it. I used to work at Starbucks way back in the day. I mean, I think I was 19 at the time. And so, you know, I've made lots of the drinks. But yeah, I can't get on board with super, you know, like you said, frou-frou coffee. I drink coffee, only milk, or if I drink coffee, only milk. Gotcha. Yeah, I need a little bit of sweetener in it just to cut through it. Not much. I definitely have number 6 now. I definitely put a lot less sweetener in it than I did when I first started drinking coffee. That's for sure. Like, someday, though, when we get, like, a nice big kitchen or something, I would love to get, like, a latte machine, because I do like, or just something to, like, foam the milk. Because I do like that kind of frothiness of the milk. I know you can get those little handheld spinner things, but, you know, steamed milk, it's a little bit different, but yeah, that would be nice. Let's see, I love a latte, but the ones from the coffee shops are too full of sugar, so I prefer making my own. Yeah, so I have a local coffee shop I go to. I don't go to Starbucks. It's this Guatemalan coffee shop, and it's absolutely delicious. Like, a lot of coffee is too acidic for me, and I don't like it, but this is so good. And so what I get is called the Cinnamon Delight, and I have them, you know, change it, you know, depending on how tight my pants are. I might do non-fat milk. But I always tell them that, you know, because it's supposed to come with like a syrup. So I tell them, you know, like half the sugar, no syrup, non-fat milk. And so I'm like really particular about it. But the thing of it is, and this was pre-quarantine, number 62, by the way. Pre-quarantine, they knew my drink pretty well. So when I go in and order it, you know, it was normal for me to request that. And most of them, unless it was someone new, had my order memorized, which was nice. Either that or it's just a sign that I went to the coffee shop way too often. Let's see. The only beverage for Picard fans. Exactly. Has anyone tried the Crayola Gel Effects crayons? I haven't, Crystal. Are they like truly crayons? I know some people refer to pencils as crayons sometimes. This is number 25, by the way. But no, I haven't. And if you have, what do you think about them? I'm always down for a new kind of tool. Sounds good, Kenny. Cinnamon teas has health properties. Yeah, I've heard that cinnamon's really good for you, too. Yeah, I love cinnamon, too. Computer, Earl Grey, hot. Gosh, yeah. Wouldn't that be nice? If your coffee tastes bitter, go for a lighter roast. I love it. Yeah, so I do like a medium. think I also heard somebody in here told me that adding just a tiniest bit of salt helps cut down on the bitterness. I haven't tried it, but more sugar the better. Try oat milk and coffee. Oh, that actually sounds pretty good, Shara. Of course, oat milk. Where do you get your oat milk? I'm trying to think. I don't recall having seen it at the grocery store. Is that something that would be at like a health food store, maybe? Although we use Truvia, yeah. I can't drink coffee, but I love chai. I should, now that I've started drinking tea, I should try chai tea. I'd probably like it. Because it's like a spiced tea, right? I don't know, is it that sweet? All right, so we are using, what was this, 76? No, my headache's pretty much gone now. I have half a mind to just keep streaming till we finish this one. But we'll see how far we get. I know we're coloring a lot of the same thing right now, but, you know, sometimes it just takes a little bit to finish it. Let's see. Cinnamon helps lower blood sugar. Interesting. Any Indian herbs used is good for health. That's good to know. I'm not quite sure if they're just wax, but I think they're more pigmented and softer than standard crayons. Interesting. It's spices. Yeah. Well, which, so, because I think chai is like a separate spice. Like, it's a specific spice. It's not like a combination of spices, like something like, you know, allspice, because allspice, well, spices, you know, it's a combination. But chai is a specific kind of spice, right? Like, chai is the spice. Oat milk is, oh, same here, Emily, no headache. Oh, I'm glad, Lazzy, I'm glad. Mine was one of those, like, behind the eye headaches, so I think it was just, I was editing some stuff, and I think I spent too much time on the computer yesterday. I probably didn't drink enough water, so that's partially my fault. Oat milk is everywhere, it's amazing fatty, but no more than milk, and that's what makes it good. Interesting. I might have to try that. I'd be down with trying that. That sounds pretty good. Ooh. And then it'd be extra oaty if you added the oat milk. Oatmeal. Random thoughts. Let's see. If you guys have a Costco wherever you are in the summer, they have this frappe mix in a blue bag. It's awesome. I stock up for the winter. Oh, nice. We don't have Costco down here. We've got Sam's Club down here. I know we have Costco up in Oregon, but, you know, there might be a Costco in like Houston or Dallas. In my town specifically, though, we have our big bulk store is Sam's Club. I adore chai teas. I'll have to try them again. Emily's experiencing the health benefits of coloring, de-stressing creatively. Exactly, exactly. Chai teas are spicy with a bite. Ooh, interesting. Your leaf colors and also beautiful. Oh, thank you. I don't know. I drink it from Starbucks. It's like pure sugar. Chai is a mix, I think, cardamom and cinnamon. Ah, okay, okay. Yeah, I remember making it at Starbucks. I didn't know much about it at the time. Of course, I didn't know much about coffee at all at the time. One of the things they make you do when you work there is you have to, because they're pastries and stuff, like apparently they're meant to like help bring out some of the flavors of different kinds of coffee. So we had to try them. But I didn't know anything about coffee and didn't really like it at the time. You know, your taste buds change as you get older. I didn't even start drinking coffee until I had you know, my second kid. But yeah, I think I just was too young to really appreciate it or understand the coffee. All right, number 6. But I remember, I may have told this story before, but I was working there and I had gone out to go see a movie with my sister. And we went out late. And when you open at Starbucks, I lived kind of far away from the Starbucks where I was working at. And so I usually had to drive a little ways to get there. So to get to Starbucks on a day where I was opening, I forget what time you had to be there when you opened for Starbucks, but you had to be there really early. I mean, Starbucks opens early. So, kitty snack time. But I would have to get up at like 3:30 in the morning. So anyway, I had forgotten, and again, I was young, so I was irresponsible and everything, but I had forgotten that I had to open for Starbucks, and so I went out to go see a movie. And when we came out from the theater, it was like 11 p.m. And me, in my logic of being 19, I was thinking, there's no way I have enough time to get a decent amount of sleep. I should just stay up so that I can, you know, get up, get ready, and go to work. So I'm using number 6, by the way. I essentially pulled an all-nighter. And, yeah, big mistake that was. And I'm thinking, then this was, before I'd really drank coffee. So, my body wasn't used to the caffeine that the coffee would bring you. And so I was thinking, oh, it's fine. I'll stay up all night. I'll, go ahead and drink some coffee and I'll be good. So what I did is I gave myself, I drank a couple shots of espresso. And for somebody who wasn't used to that level of caffeine, oh my goodness, I could barely stand upright for my shift. That was the worst mistake I ever made. I remember gripping the cash register, trying to prop myself up because the shock to my system of all of that straight caffeine after having stayed up all night. I think I just watched too many movies where people pull all-nighters and then just drink coffee and were just fine. And yeah, it was the biggest mistake ever. And I was just like, never again. And I don't think I touched coffee again until, my 30s. Oh yeah, that was a very hungry kitten. They know when it's snack time. 10 o'clock, man. They've been begging earlier and earlier. They get dinner at 6, but 9 o'clock rolls around and they act like they haven't eaten in years. It's really? Really? Most coffee chains over roast or burn the beans. They get bitter. That's fair. That's fair. I think your palate changed over time. I wasn't a big fan of coffee, but I love it now. Yeah, and same thing too. After you've had kids, your taste buds change also, which and I think a big part of it is being open-minded and being willing to try new things, try new flavors and whatnot. Because I think for the longest time, I was like, this is what I like, and I'm not going to change it, But as I got older, I was just like, well, let's experiment more with this. And I think it helped expand my palate a little bit more, rather than just sticking to my guns and being like, well, I don't like this, so I'm never going to try it. You know what I mean? And so I think becoming a bit more open-minded helped my palate as well. Yep. Exclamation point snack. Kitty snack time. Om nom nom. All right. So we are using 62. So yeah, lesson learned, no shots of espresso for Emily. I can hardly handle more than 1 cup of coffee a day, or more than, 1 cup of something with caffeine a day. I just assumed, well, everybody else can drink coffee like this. Why can't I? And it's oh, because everybody is different. Just shock your system with just massive amounts of caffeine. That's smart. That's gonna end well. Good job, me. Not drinking coffee, and I can do it all night because not working. Yeah. Yep. I will say quarantine has, we're using 25 now, has allowed me to sleep in a little bit more, which has been nice. A very sweet husband who, because a lot of times I'll get work done at night, because during the daytime it's hard for my kids to understand that, mommy needs to work. And so I can get a lot more uninterrupted work time done during the night. And so then consequently I end up sleeping a little bit later during the day. See, I used to get up when my dad came home from third shift, and we would sit on the front porch and watch the sunrise and drink coffee. Mine was more milk than coffee at the time. Aw, that's sweet, Kat. I like that. We all grow out of only eating mac and cheese or PB&Js. That is true. I used to eat a lot more Kraft mac and cheese, but I don't know. We do like the Annie's mac for the kids. All right, we're going to use 76 again. Yeah, that's real sweet. So my dad was a commercial fisherman. He was for about 20 plus years when we lived in Oregon. And I remember I went out on his boat with him a couple times. But when it was time we would do this. So there's a certain season where Dad would do something. And those of you that are familiar with fishing might know these terms. But Dad would do long lining. And long lining is essentially... is exactly what it sounds like. Imagine just a long fishing line coiled around, a spool, a big spool, and on it we would attach, squid to it. But to get prepared for that, everybody would have to get together and do what's called baiting tubs. And imagine one of those big stainless steel kind of round tubs that are, like a 1.5 feet, 2 feet tall. and we had frozen squid, we had our gloves, and we'd have to, you know, put them on the hook so that it was all ready to go. So Dad would have the spool ready to go, you know, he'd go out on his boat, and then he would undo the spool, and it would just let out this big long line of, you know, the squid and the hooks and everything like that. And so it was a bit of a family affair, you know, everybody, you know, did their help, you know, they pitched in and helped and everything. And I absolutely hated doing it. Like, you know, I don't even know how old I was. I might have been, you know, 11, 12, maybe, you know. No kid wants to do chores when you're 11 or 12, unless you're just really goal oriented. Anyway, I certainly didn't want to. So I got, you know, this idea in my head, and I'm thinking, you know what? I'll tell Dad I want to go out on the boat with him. See, my boss makes a drink, a shot of espresso over ice with pomegranate juice. It doesn't sound good, but oh my God, it's awesome. With pomegranate juice, that could be pretty good. But I remember thinking, you know what? I'll volunteer to go out on the boat with Dad, and then I won't have to bait tubs. Like, I remember thinking this was just the smartest idea I ever had. Noted that the Staedtler watercolor pencils are the same with Ergosoft, same names and colors. Oh, awesome, Jay. Good. But yeah, so I just thought I was being, you know, the smartest cookie ever. And so I asked Dad, I was just like, hey, can I go out on the boat with you? And he's just like, well, sure, you know, put me to work for the summer. It'll be good. Be good for me, you know, build character kind of thing. Well, I tell you, I got so seasick. I never wanted to go out on that boat ever again. You know, we thought that I could work on the boat for the summer and then, you know, over time I'd get over the seasickness, but I spent the entire day in that hole. Like, it was just lesson learned. I thought I was being so smart getting out of baiting tubs for the day, but I tell you, looking back, I should have baited the tubs. I'm just saying. It would have saved me a heck of a lot. And the funny thing about seasickness too is the moment that I got off the boat and back on dry land, like, I was fine. I remember the lady who because where we are, there's a crane, and so they would lift the boats up out of the water. The boats don't just sit in the water, they sit on the dock, and they lift the boats up and out of the water. And I remember the woman who ran it, she always had those little like candy corn pumpkins in a jar. And I remember specifically, you know, I got off the boat, got on dry land. Once things stopped moving, I was fine. And I specifically remember going, you know, as I watched them lift the boat, went and started eating some candy, despite the fact that, you know, I had just been, you know, huddled up in the bottom of the boat all day. It was so funny. But yeah, lesson learned there. I can handle like being out on like a lake, you know, on a little skiff or something like that. But, you know, you get out on a commercial fisher boat where you're, you know, you're popping up and down over the waves and everything like that, and you're bouncing around. Like, I was good for the first like 30 minutes, but yeah, it's an experience to be sure. My poor Joe is violently seasick. Yeah, I just, you know, my mom even gave me like Dramamine before we went and everything, but it was just, I just couldn't handle it. I will say though, for the time that I wasn't seasick, it was definitely entertaining. I remember we got to see a school of dolphins swim up by the boat. You know, Dad collected a bunch of, you know, as he was pulling in the fish, you know, there's rockfish, halibut. They caught a manta ray one time, you know, they re-released it and everything. But as they were pulling stuff up, they put it in this bin with water while we waited to pull everything up. But I remember seeing it, and it was, or it might have been a stingray. It was manta ray stingray. It was smaller, but it was still really cool. Same with Faber-Castell brands. Oh, okay, awesome. One time in Hawaii, I got land sick. I was fine on the rough ocean, but when we get on land, I couldn't stop rocking. I was so nauseous. You know, Allie, I get that, though. I get that. You know, we're going to use a little bit of green contrasting here while I think about it. We are going to use number 38. Because I remember when I was pregnant with my daughter, I was pretty huge at the time. I want to say I was like 7 months along, and it was really hot outside. And some friends of ours, we went swimming in a pool, and all the weight, you know, was picked up off my stomach while we were in the water, because we were essentially floating. But when I finally, because we were in that pool for probably about an hour, when I finally got out, all that gravity, you know, and the weight of my stomach and everything, I got so nauseous afterwards. I mean, I was pregnant anyway, so I was, you know, more prone to being nauseous. But just having all that weight lifted off, and then we got out of the pool and just like, oh, I was so sick to my stomach. And I was so disappointed because our friends were here visiting, and that was their last day there. And I spent the rest of the day that day, like, just so sick to my stomach, just because, you know, pregnant or whatever. But you know, we had spent the afternoon with all that weight off, and I stepped out off the water, and I was just like, oh, I need to lay down for the rest of the day. Let's see. It was also the night before we got married and had our rehearsal dinner at a luau. I couldn't eat anything. Oh, Allie. Okay, Emily, thanks for the stream. Good night, everyone. Good night, Caitlin. Thanks for stopping by. I also get it after flying on an airplane. How interesting. When we first lived in Hawaii, the family came for a visit. We scheduled the whale watch, and he was so sick the whole 4 hours. Aww. The worst experience was when I was stepped onto a spiked sea urchin. Oh my gosh, Jay. Okay, so my dad used to go sea urchin diving, and to this day, he still has where he got poked by a sea urchin, like a tiny little bit of it broke off in his hand. And to this day, he still has this tiny little lump on his hand where the spike broke off a little bit. Like, those are gnarly. Those are really gnarly. Because the way it works when you're sea urchin diving is you're underwater, and obviously all the sea urchins are, you know, on the rocks and everything else. And so you go under with this big net, and you have this kind of prong looking thing that's kind of like this. And then it's curved at the end, and it's got a loop, and your hand goes here. And so you're using that to kind of get them off the rocks, and you collect them in the net and everything. But yeah, he got poked with one, and he's still got that little lump there to this day. Sounds good, Yvonne. Have a great night. Get some rest. Let's see. He was so miserable. I couldn't do anything for him. Oh, I can't swim, only learn to float. I did swim lessons. I mean, I don't think I could swim for a long period of time, and you know, I definitely need some work on my form, but I definitely can swim. All right, let's see. Oh, I like this. I think I want to add a little bit more of the green. Okay, so 38 again, but I float like a champ. Not one muscle moves. But yeah, so I do, you know, for the times that I before I actually got seasick, I do have some good memories on the boat. I wish I could have experienced it a little bit more without getting so seasick. But, you know, he used to go tuna fishing up in Alaska, and he'd be gone for weeks at a time. But it was an interesting experience, to be sure. You know, he'd come home with a bunch of lingcod, and like those lingcod, you know, because I was little at the time, those lingcod were like the size of me. Like, I don't know if anybody, if you've had lingcod before. He also would catch what they called green ling, like, you know, green, the color, and ling, L-I-N-G. And it was essentially the meat for the lingcod was actually green. Man, those things were big. We have a picture of me somewhere standing next to it, and it was about nearly as tall as I was. Multiple people have tried to teach me to swim, but my body just doesn't work that way. You know, I get that, though. I get that. Oh, yeah, for sure, Kenny. It's so hard. I don't fly or float. I can't remember not being able to swim. I can barely swim, but my boyfriend is a retired professional deep sea diver. Oh, that's cool. See, when I was pregnant with my daughter, my husband took a diving course. So he's certified. He's diving certified. If I hadn't been pregnant, I probably would have wanted to do it with him just because it looked like so much fun. Everyone was always like, oh, I can teach you. Then they swiftly give up once they realize how useless I am. Maybe subconsciously you don't want to learn. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. If it ever ends up like Kevin Costner's Waterworld, we all may need to learn how to swim. But, yeah, I have a lot of good memories of growing up on the coast and you know, hanging out on the dock. I remember, you can't do it anymore. They since redid the dock, but I remember there was this, we you know, like to call it the secret hatchway, but you were able to go under the dock, and it was kind of like a pier where, you know, there's all the poles and everything like that. But way back when, at some point, there was a boat, not a more modern boat, it was an older boat, that had crashed on the jetty off the dock. And so when we'd go down there and play, we'd crawl, you know, and this was, you know, 90s or whatever, you know, you were a lot less concerned about your kid running around than, you know, without supervision than you are now. But, you know, we would open up the hatch and we'd crawl down the ladder, and we could go all the way to the end of the jetty where there was like the skeleton or like the bones of a shipwreck down there. And when I say skeleton of bones, I mean like the frame of the boat was like up, sticking out of there. It was really cool. It was really cool. My son's Disneyland dad had him Had him get scuba certified at the Great Barrier Reef. Oh, that's cool. I'm off to pick up dinner. See you all next time. Sounds good, Angela. Thanks for hanging out. I nearly drowned when I was 3. My dad saved me, and everyone thought it would put me off swimming for life, but I love being in the water. I just can't do it. I worked laying pipe for oil rigs and deep sea water rescues. Oh, that's cool, Kat. It was fun, like finding like unique jobs like that. All right, let's go ahead and grab. Here is our number 76. One of the things I absolutely love too is that because we lived on the coast, on the 4th of July, they would have sandcastle contests. And so we'd all go down there and build our best castle, and it was always lots of fun. I just don't have the stamina. Lung weak due to childhood asthma. Ah, gotcha, gotcha. All right, number 38. A bit more green on this side because this is supposed to be the underside of the leaf, so it's okay if it looks a little bit different. And we're going to grab number 6. Yeah, I wish I could have handled being on the boat more. I think it would have been a pretty unique experience, but couldn't stomach it. All right, and then, oh, are we in? Yeah, we are. Number 62. But I figure, better, you know, better some memories than no memories. All right, let's go ahead and turn this way here. I'm an Aquarius, so I have a natural affinity in water. There you go. There you go, a subconscious block. All right, so 76. Oh, most definitely, Jay. Most definitely, especially in this day and age. All right, let's see. Let's start on this side and work our way back over because it looks like we got some leaves here that are separate from the berries. If anyone remembers when the plane went into the Potomac River, he's the guy that found that black box. Oh, really? Interesting. Okay, 76. Start with our brown here. Let's see, are we in frame? There we go. They're small leaves, so I want to do my best to try and leave enough that we can add the purple. Turn it. Okay. I don't think so, Kenny. I've actively tried to learn, but it's impossible. So I took swim lessons, even as like a preteen. I don't remember what age I was when I stopped. Like I remember taking swim lessons as a kid. Where we lived, I was actually thinking about this earlier today for some reason, but where we lived, we had to bus to the pool, and it was probably about an hour away from the town, but it was the closest pool where we all lived. And I did take swim lessons there. A big part of it was, you know, learning to jump off the diving board. And, you know, when you're little, that's absolutely terrifying. But when I got older, I think I was in junior high, I tried taking swim lessons again. And I did all the way up until we got to the level where we had to learn how to surface dive. I tried and I tried and I tried, and I just could not get the surface dive down. That's where you're supposed to be like, you know, treading water just right there, and then you're supposed to be able to, like, you know, flip yourself, you know, 180 degrees and dive down. But I just couldn't get the momentum to like push myself forward and then like swim down. Like it was so hard, and I don't remember what level it was at. You know, I don't know that all these levels are universal anyway, but I could not do it, and I got so frustrated, and like I was the oldest one in the class anyway, and I was like, this is stupid, I don't want to do it anymore. So I just quit. I didn't like failing over and over, and I just could not get my body to do what it needed to get down there. Like I couldn't hold my breath long enough to do it, and I just could not get the momentum I needed. So, you know, I know how to swim, I know how to tread water, you know, if I fall in water somewhere, you know, I'm going to be able to make my way out. You know, I know how to stay calm on the water. I can float. I can, you know, do all that stuff. So I was just like, you know what? I know enough to enjoy myself in the water and also enough to be able to survive in the water if, God forbid, I were to fall in for whatever reason. You know what I mean? It's hard. It is really hard. Let's see. Oh, you were a soldier girl. Got it. The last plane wreck he worked was the JetBlue crash in Florida. Oh, dang. Now he's just a fireman. Well, at least you love the... Oh, love the water. I'm like, love the eater? What? I'm quite happy doggy paddling around whilst everyone does their boring repetitive lengths. I'm right there with you, Lazi. Let's see. The water is so free. Let's see. I can sit on the bottom of the pool. I got skills. Oh, there you go. I used to be able to do like the upside down handstands in the pool. Does that count? Who in the military or any armed force have greater pride and honor with them. Many all, they say, I'm grateful to all of them. Yes, most definitely. My family's a bit of a military family. We did... Air Force and Navy was my family. In fact, short of my brother and I are the only ones who, you know, in my immediate family that weren't in the military. I don't think I could have done boot camp, though. Probably would have stressed me out. Let's see. Let's see. I used to be able to turn like a professional swimmer when they were doing laps. It's harder than it looks, right? It is. Is that an actual size? And what paper was it printed in? I have an Epson inkjet. Hi, Ma. Yes, right there. Shannon put the exclamation point paper. That is the link for it. And yeah, this is the actual size. So this was printed on 8.5 by 11. I trimmed the top and the bottom just because there was a lot of blank space. But yeah, this is the actual size of the picture. So yeah. My sister can't surface dive. She floats so well, she can sit cross-legged in a pool and read a book. Oh, how funny. Let's see. Happy coloring, everyone. Bye until next stream. Sounds good, Melissa. Thanks for hanging out. I can't retrieve things without a pool. I just float. See, if I need to retrieve things, I just, you know, make sure that it's shallow enough and I just grab them with my feet. Let's see. I'm a fish in water even after stroke and only using half my body wasn't too bad. Yeah, like I said, I can enjoy myself in the water and, you know, I can swim well enough to take my kids, you know, over places, but yeah, just, I got too frustrated with swimming lessons. I don't want to do it. It's too hard. And I figure as long as you know, how to stay safe in the water and, you know, enough to have fun, unless you're becoming like a professional, I almost said swimstress. That's not the right word. What's the term for somebody who swims professionally? You know, like Michael Phelps level. Why can't I think of it? What is the name of someone who swims professionally? Is it just a swimmer? Doesn't seem right. I feel like there's an actual term for it, but I am not remembering it like at all. Let's see. Well, it would love you. Do you ever wonder how long Mark Wahlberg had to float during The Perfect Storm? I actually haven't seen that. I know that he was in it, but I haven't seen it. I assumed that they had people like close by and maybe helped him or something in between takes. The concept of treading water blows me out. I have no idea how people coordinate their arms and legs so well. I can tread water. I mean, I get tired after a while, but I can do it. I'm afraid of getting my face wet. When I was 5, my brother tried to drown me by sitting at the bottom of the... tried to drown me by sitting on me at the bottom of a lake. I have a vivid memory. Oh my word, Cat! Hopefully he apologized when he got older and realized how much of a turkey he was. A swimmer? Yes, a swimmer. Okay, I don't know. I was thinking that there was more of a term for it. You know, like someone who sews is a swimstress. Or not swim. See, I got swim stuck in my head. Is a seamstress. A seamstress. So I didn't know if there was like a term for it. You know, like a... Well, I guess a professional person who runs professionally is just called a runner, not a runstress. I make up my own terms, you know, it's a thing. It's a thing. All right, number 6. We're going to go back over this way now. Maybe swimstress should be a thing. That's my term for it now, a swimstress. Nope, just swimmer. A swimologist. I like it, Lazi. I like it. Yes, words are hard, Sherry. I like that. A swimologist. That's hilarious. I sound so intelligent when I stream. That's the thing, is that, like, I have a little bit of a filter, and I do think a little bit before I talk. I do. But sometimes I just, you know, words come out and they're not real words, and it's like, I make a lot of sense sometimes. Professional swimmer, yeah, a swimster. I think of that scene from Friends. I'm gonna grab this brown again, where they're trying to name Chandler's profession, and they're like, he a transponster. Monica turns it. That's not even a word. That gave me goosebumps. So it's a huge fear of drowning. A swiminator. I like it, Shara. I like it. Yeah, a transponster. Oh, you gotta love Friends. He says lobster. Good stuff right there. So what Friends is now on HBO Max too. Between Friends and Doctor Who, I may have to drop another streaming service and go ahead and, because, you know, it's, I only like to have so many active at a time, otherwise it just kind of gets ridiculous. I would like having access to Doctor Who and Friends again. That would be nice. That's not even a word! Exactly. I swim like a rock and I'm terrified of lakes, etc., and deep pools of water. If I cannot see the bottom of where I'm swimming at, that freaks me out. We went to a hot springs one time with my cousins and stuff, and I could not see the bottom of the lake. I don't know if I just watched Preacher of the Black Lagoon. That would be a whole other movie, but Creature from the Black Lagoon. Yeah, I don't know. If I cannot see the bottom of where I'm swimming at, it freaks me out because I don't know what's down there and I can't do it. It terrifies me. Like, yeah. I mean, it's one thing if I can touch the bottom and can't see, but if I can't touch the bottom and I can't see the bottom, I can't do it. I cannot do it. My imagination runs wild and I'm just expecting some creature, not preacher, but some creature to like reach up and grab my ankle and pull me down. Nope. I've got too much of an active imagination to swim in a place like that. I need to be able to see the bottom. I have to. Brother never apologized. He just got more cunning in his torture of me. Oh no, Cat. My sister and I fought, like one of my sisters, we fought a lot, but later in life she realized how much of a toot she was and she apologized later, and we get along now. As long as we don't live with each other. Let's see, terrified of heights as well. Yeah, heights don't bother me so much. They might, you know, make me a little dizzy sometimes, and, you know, if I'm really high, you know, I might, like, get a little sick to my stomach. But I wouldn't say that I'm scared. I would say it's more of, like, a equilibrium thing. Swimmer. Yeah, there you go, Sharon. Never did like Friends much? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I have to be in the right mood. It's definitely, like, one of those, you know, lighthearted kind of shows I enjoy watching. I had snakes wrap around my legs twice when I was younger while in the water. That was enough for me. Oh, nope. Same here. I don't even go in the deep end of the pool. I know, right? I love swimming in a lake. Hate chlorine. See, I can enjoy a lake. There was this place where an ex-boyfriend of mine and I went to. We drove up in the mountains, and there was this lake that we swam in. But it was, because it was up in the mountains, don't get me wrong, it was really cold, but because it was up in the mountains, it was crystal clear. Like, we were talking, this thing was like 10, 12 feet deep, but it was clear. You could see all the way down to the bottom, and I loved that. I didn't mind that it was so deep because I could see all the way to the bottom. That was enjoyable. I really liked that. But yeah, if I can't see where it is, my fear gets the better of me. We're using 62 now. So yeah, that's something I cannot do. I need to be able to see. I need to be able to see the bottom. Yeah, I meant creature of the Black Lagoon. I said preacher of the Black Lagoon, so that would definitely be a whole different kind of movie. I can't make myself go in the water anymore like that. Yeah. Well, and now whenever we go in the water, you know, we've got the kids with us. So I less swim for fun these days, and it's more so, you know, making sure the kids are safe and having fun. But again, I wouldn't mind swimming in a lake. There was this river where I grew up where all the locals would go and swim at, and was so much fun. It was so much fun. It was near a campground and it was so beautiful. There was usually rocks you could jump off of. I would love to take my kids there. I have a lot of good memories there. There wasn't a sandy beach too. It was all rocks, but they were like big, like smooth rocks, so it wasn't that big of a deal to walk on them. And so, you know, we just lay out blankets, and despite the fact that it was, you know, Oregon, the water was generally kind of nice. And there weren't rapids there, but the water was fast moving enough that you could go tubing down it. But then, you know, it would go into shallow areas, so it's like, it was a pretty safe place to take your kids to go swimming. I do remember one time, though, I was on a big black inner tube, and because of the heat of it, it attracted bees. And that was one of the few times I actually got stung by a bee, but... Let's see, I like the ocean. Lakes kind of creep me out. A clear lake would be okay. Yeah, like I said, if it was clear, it was good. I grew up on the coast, and I didn't go swim in the ocean too much. Part of that is, though, because we were younger, number 25 now. Because we were younger, and of course my mom was, you know, worried about riptides, which is, you know, totally acceptable. Plus, being in the Pacific Northwest, the ocean is just cold all the time. So I haven't ever been to a beach where the water is actually warm. I don't know, on my mind, the ocean's supposed to be cold. So we never really swam in the ocean. You know, you'd run in it and let the tide chase you and everything like that. But I never went full on swimming. I don't think I could. Just because that whole, you know, not being able to see the bottom thing. I definitely had a little bit of a shark fear being near the ocean. But that was just my own head. There was probably nothing legitimate to that fear whatsoever. Let's see. Nope, can't get in the ocean. I was stung by a jellyfish once. Oh, yeah, that would really hurt. The water in Hawaii was almost pure, clear, just beautiful. I loved it. Oh, see, I could do that. I'd love to go to Hawaii to visit. That would be nice. I can't do heights. I jumped off a 10-meter diving platform as a child, and ever since, I got an irresistible urge to jump from near the edge. I can't trust myself. Yeah, please don't jump off any ledges, Aspie, or edges of anything. It wrapped itself around my upper arm. Oh my gosh, Charlotte, that would be terrible. This is why I don't go in the ocean. All those biting and stinging animals make it perfectly clear humans don't belong there. Yeah. When I was a kid, whenever we'd visit the beach, I liked to collect sand and ocean water and then bring it back home. But I stopped doing that because I realized that despite me like looking over the sand, inevitably when I collected sand and ocean water, I somehow always ended up collecting like sea creatures along with it. So, you know, like little sand crabs and that kind of thing. You know, they were really tiny, and so you wouldn't see them. And I always felt so bad. And so, like, I'd get home and suddenly realize that I collected all these little creatures. So I knew that the water was always cold in Oregon. So I made sure that the bottle had air holes, and I would put the sand and the ocean water in the fridge until we could go back to the beach, and I'd re-release them. And they always survived, you know. And then I eventually quit bringing stuff home because I realized that there was no way. Because I think, oh, I'll just be really careful this time, and I won't, you know, make sure I won't collect up any sand crabs or anything like that. So, you know, as long as the water stayed cold, they had everything they need. You know, it was like a little enclosed ecosystem, but still, I always felt bad. I was like, no! I was afraid. I go in constantly checking on them, afraid that I killed all these sand crabs. Let's see. I felt like a bunch of bees stung me. Yeah, oh, that would feel terrible. I love all kinds of insects after I help my sister find and catch them for her agriculture products. I can't do bugs. I can't do bugs. I used to catch grasshoppers as a kid. But yeah, I can't do bugs. I've held a shark about 3 feet. They feel so cool. Yeah, I think I've checked out, you know, like baby sharks and stuff, you know, at the aquarium or whatever else. But yeah. I asked my girlfriend what it felt like to have fear of heights. She said it feels like I want to jump. Really? Interesting. I was scared out of my mind of sharks in the 70s because of Jaws, but I over it now. Yeah, Jaws did not do sharks any justice or any good. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, it's pretty terrifying. I love snakes too. I don't mind snakes so much. I got bit by a snake when I was a kid, so I'm not totally thrilled by them. Probably less afraid of them now. But yeah. I still have the scar on my arm. Let's see if I can find it. I don't know. Oh, here we go. Okay, let's see if we can see it here. Get my arm in focus here. Okay. You see this tiny little line right here? Right underneath that freckle? That right there, that is from a snake bite. Pretty light scar now. But yeah, and there's a tiny little one here. I was in grade school, and there was this thing in Oregon called OMSI. And it was basically, it's a different kind of, they have it differently now. But when I was a kid, this would have been early 90s, that what they would do is they would come visit schools, and it was kind of a science-y kind of thing. And they would bring animals and stuff for kids to, you know, look at and check. Well, anyway, apparently they thought it was a good idea to choose some kids to volunteer to hold one of the snakes. And it was a king snake. Apparently had been devenomed and everything, so it was theoretically safe. So me and this other kid got called up to go hold this snake. And of course I was, you know, pretty excited about it. And then the rest of the kids would walk by and they would pet the snake. Well, I don't know if the snake just got freaked out or a kid squeezed it or something, but I was holding the head end of the snake and it reared up and it bit me. And I remember freaking out. You know, it bit me. I yanked it out of the other kid's hand and I chucked it across the cafeteria because that's where they set up. And I remember seeing it just foom, 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 foom. And it was like, when I say foom, foom, it's because it was like spinning like a snake would. You know, I was in grade school. All I knew was the thing bit me and I needed to get it out of there. So I apologize to anybody that is an animal rights activist. But yes, I chucked the snake. It bit me and I was in grade school and I was scared. I remember the lunch lady was running around, you know, screaming and needless to say, my parents had words. They probably could have sued them if they really wanted to, but no, it just wasn't a thing. I ended up being fine and everything like that, but that's probably right about when Omzi decided to not let the kids hold animals anymore. But yeah, so I think I get nervous, but you know, as it's knowledge is a big thing, so I'm well aware, you know, of what kind of snakes are okay to hold and what's not. Not that I hold snakes all that often, but I don't run and cower in fear when I see them. But I definitely have a pretty strong memory of getting bit by that snake. Let's see. Seashells, yeah, a lot of seashells. Let's see, I can feel myself going over, but I liked feeling not really fair. Were you a precocious child? Yeah. Yeah, I was. Let's see, it's exactly what Franny told me. I was even afraid to walk in the sand. Such a dumb movie to my kids, though. Your arm looks exactly like mine. That's so weird. Lozzie, maybe we're long-lost sisters. Freckles in the same place and everything. That's hilarious. I got bit by a cow. I still love cows, but being pecked by a chicken has made me hate live chickens with a passion. Maybe I wasn't. Who knows? I was a kid in grade school. I probably wasn't. Let's see. Cat chickens can be really mean. King snakes aren't venomous. Maybe that's what it is. I just remembered it was the red and black striped one. But either way, I got bit. I got scared. My parents were mad, and now I got a scar. But yeah, I mean, you know, I probably wasn't holding it right, but I think for a company to come and have kids volunteer, if I wasn't holding it right, it was probably up to them to make sure that I did, because I sure as heck didn't know what I was doing. Why their lucky animals are allowed to run free everywhere, yeah. But yeah, it's like one of my stories that I don't forget. But all I know is that it wasn't, you know, whatever it wasn't supposed to be a risk to us, but it up and bit me. Feel like Forrest Gump when he goes out, something bit me. Number 6, but yeah, like I said, the scar's pretty faded and it's pretty small now, but I have a pretty distinct, there's things that just stick with you as a kid, you know? I couldn't remember, you know, I couldn't tell you what grade I was in or, you know, who my teacher was then or anything, but I certainly remember getting bit. But good times. I probably wouldn't have remembered it so much if it hadn't left an actual scar. I don't think it was a cobra. Let me see if I can find a picture of it, because I'll know what it is once I see it. Let's see. King snake. Let's see. Yeah, it's just a king snake. Looks like this. Here. Here's Wikipedia here. There you go. Wikipedia. So it was the black and red ones. It was job to collect the eggs from the chicken coop. I hated those chickens. So yeah, let's see. Is it venomous? Trying to think. It doesn't say. I could spend more time reading it, but I won't. Oh, yeah. Okay. Confused with the highly venomous coral snakes. So that might be what I was thinking that was venomous. So yeah. I mean, obviously, if it was venomous in any way, they wouldn't have let kids hold it anyway. So But yeah, so it was just one of those things. Now OMSI in Oregon, you can find it in Portland, and it's kind of like a science museum exhibit thing. So, you know, it's fun to take the kids to. I doubt they do many school visitations anymore. Like I said, it was the 90s. Things were different then. But yeah, I can't remember any time I've ever been bit by a snake after that. I don't think I've been bitten by too many animals in my lifetime. There was a dog, a neighbor's dog bit me once. Nothing bad, but it took me a while to get over a fear of dogs. Sounds good, Charlotte. Have a great night. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for becoming a new member. Oh yeah, no, not the king cobra. Yeah, it was just a king snake. Like I said, I have a pretty patchy memory of it because I was so young at the time, but I do remember the biting for sure. Okay, that was that purple. Now let's go in with our number 62 purple, and then we'll go in with our pink again, and then with our green. Theoretically, if I didn't spend so much time with the different layers and stuff, I could probably get this particular circle done faster, because we've averaged about 2 streams per circle, each stream being about 2 hours. So, I mean, we'll end up doing 16 hours worth of coloring on these by the time we're done. And like if you're coloring them by yourself too, it's not going to take nearly this long because, you know, I stop to read or get things or go off on tangents and that kind of thing. So, but these are perfect little, especially if you want to like try out different pencils. These are perfect little circles to try those out. Let's see. I had a large dog try to eat my hand for a snack when I was young. I was terrified. Still have scars on my hand. Oh no, Sherry. What kind of dog was it? All right, number 25. I've had hamsters and stuff, but part of me has always like been a little afraid that they were gonna nibble on me. I never got entirely comfortable holding them. I was never too worried about the guinea pig. I had a guinea pig at one point. Make to say. I'm gonna guess that was an autocorrect. Oh, don't remember. Gotcha. I'm lurking here waiting for dinner shopping. I wanted to say the picture is looking awesome. Oh, thanks, Angela. Now we're finishing up our purple flowers here. Add some pink on this branch. I'm gonna go over with our green. All right, so number 38. We had a fair amount of different dogs growing up that I remember. I think I mentioned this last year, but we had a Lab and Sheltie mix that was probably the best dog that we ever owned. We had a Sheltie, but that one was, well, that one was in an accident. But we had another dog that was very bitey, so he went to go live with my uncle. Because he had more property, and so the dog could run around and he could train him better. I'm trying to think, what other kind of dogs did we have? Let's see, my parents have had a wiener dog that lived for quite a while, you know, like little dachshund. And then they currently have a golden doodle and another small one. I suppose I've had more cats than I have dogs. When we get a place with a yard, though, I definitely want to get a dog for the kids. Still coloring the camo, Chucks. Nice. Yeah, that was a great start from what I saw on your stream earlier. Hamster bites are actually quite painful. Mine have drawn. Yeah, see, that makes me nervous. They're super cute, but tiny little bitey teeth. Aw, thanks, Aspie. I grew up with all kinds of animals in our house. Goats, cows, rabbits, does. Oh, it must have been dogs. Cats, chicken, pigeons, fish, mice. When my husband and I were first together, I had a rabbit, a guinea pig, a cat, and a rat. We ended up having to give the rat and the guinea pig to a friend. The rabbit kept chewing through all of our electrical cords, and at the time I was pretty young and didn't know how to properly take care of animals. My parents had a farm, so they built a hutch for it out there, and the rabbit went to go live with them. Yeah, and so then we just got down to a cat, but pre-kids, I always ended up with having a lot of pets, and I think that was my need to nurture, you know. And then I started having kids, and I was like, nope, I don't need pets. Of course, now we got like 3 cats, so 3 cats and a butterfly. 3 cats and a butterfly. My son had a project for school, and the butterfly's wings never opened properly, so we've been taking care of it. Truth be told, the thing I was reading said the butterfly was only going to live, like generally they don't live that long, like 3-4 weeks. Turns out this butterfly lives for a year. So now we've got a whole setup for it. We've got flowers in there, and we give it a cotton ball with its nectar, and it seems to be pretty happy if we can keep the cats away from it. So yeah, because if we had released it, it wouldn't have flown everywhere and it wouldn't have survived. So because its wings didn't develop correctly after it came out of the cocoon, stuttering all my words here, we now have a pet butterfly. I love most animals, have great memories, hold, and betting unique animals had a fawn fall asleep in my lap. Oh, and held and petting a platypus. Oh, cat, that's so cool. Right in your house? They only properly bite that you surprise them or scare them. Usually just sort of nibble your finger and say, hey, stop then. It doesn't really hurt. I grew up on a farm, true farmer's daughter here, so we eat all kinds of animals. I have a deaf rabbit. He's all white with blue eyes. The vet said white rabbits with blue eyes are almost always deaf. Oh, how funny. We have a large compound, almost a football field, all in their housing outside. Oh, wow. Sounds good, Sherry. Have a great night. Thank you for hanging out. And I'll have to get to work on a new emote for us all. I'm thinking that idea for a kettle one could be good. I don't want to replace the microwave with a teacup because that seems pretty fitting. But we can add in the tea kettle. That could be fun. Have little steam coming out of it. That could be good. We are almost done with these leaves. Right. Let's grab a little bit of brown. Here we normally don't keep them inside except cats. That's fair. That's fair. And especially if you've got that much kind of space too. Grabbing 76 again. I think that if I ever had big property with a big field and the resources, I would love to get a horse. My husband took me horseback riding for my birthday a couple years ago. Absolutely loved it. Love riding. But as I don't have a horse, I don't generally have the opportunity to do that. My daughter's expressed interest in riding horses, but she's not quite big enough. Like maybe a pony. You know, we've done little, you know, petting zoos and stuff where they could ride around on a little horse. But yeah, I think someday I would love to own a horse. But horse owning has to be very specific. You know, you got to live in a place where you can have horses. You got to have the space. You got to have the equipment. You got to have the knowledge, the resources, all of that. So it's slightly more complicated. Let's see. Thanks, Sherry. Oh, for sure, Sherry. Definitely. You're in our thoughts. Hang in there. Hopefully we were able to give you a little bit of distraction tonight. I have 3 rescue dogs, 13, 12, and 11 years old. Aww. Let's see. That's true. A lot of animals, white cats with blue eyes, are usually deaf too. Yeah. Yeah, and like with like super light blue eyes too, there's a chance that they can be blind just because it has to do with like darker pigmented eyes. Like if you find that you get headaches a lot or you're squinting a lot and you've got like lighter colored eyes, a lot of it has to do with the amount of light that is let in because you have lighter pigmented eyes, if I remember correctly. Could be wrong, but I think that's what it is. I bred butterflies and moths as part of my job, biological weed control. Oh, interesting. Interesting. You need to check out my video number 39, continue part 2. Riggs the Wonder Dog makes an appearance. Ah, okay, cool. I worked with toddlers and the rabbit was our classroom pet. It was perfect that he was deaf. Oh yeah, I guess it would be all the screaming and hollering and stuff like that. Let's see, that's a little bit, turn that a little bit darker. I feel like the color's a little bit off, but I'll take a good picture of these later. Let's see. Unlike America, here neighbors have fencing around each house. My father was a horse trainer. We have a family tradition of being put on a horse at 6 months old. Oh my goodness. Let's see. So this looks lighter in the camera than it is. I will take a good picture of it. Oh, there, I darkened it, so it's a little bit accurate. I'll take a picture of it too when we're done. But we're probably going to call it here, and then Monday we'll finish this off. It probably won't take us that long. I don't know. Should we just finish it off now? I think we got a big portion of it done. I don't know. Chat, do you think we should just plow through and finish it? I don't know how long it would take. It'd be another hour. Oh. Oh gosh, I just want to finish it. I feel like it's silly to leave it as is. We're so close. Okay, raise your hand if you want to stick around for me finishing it. Sounds good, Kenny. Please get some rest. Never cared for horseback riding, but I love riding. Oh, yeah. Oh, love riding cows. Oh, how funny. Yeah, I feel like I kind of just want to finish it. How do I get rid of dandelions? Yeah, I kind of feel like I just want to finish it. Yeah, I'm thinking so. And if you guys are so, are tired and stuff, feel free to, go about your stuff. But I feel like we're so close. I kind of just want to finish it. Let's grab this one. I'm game if you are. Yeah, I feel like it's so close. Let's just push on through. I'm here till the end. Yeah, let's just truck on through. We can do this. Let's see, let's lighten this just a tiny bit here so we can see. There we go. All right, so we're going to do green berries. So we're going to do number 38. Just feel like we're so close. I feel like, because I don't think that this would fill another 2 hours. We're going to go real light because I don't want them to be like full green berries. Like the highlight of this is going to be white. Go. Sounds good, Patty. Hallie, yay, more coloring. I know, normally we end at like 10:30, but I think we could finish this tonight. Because if you just look at it, like it's just berries and vines in the background, and I feel like that shouldn't take that long. Like an hour, maybe? My head's finally feeling the best it's felt all day, so I'm just gonna go for it. And then we can start with something fresh on Monday. We gotta start thinking about what we want to do next. All right, so number 52. Offside. Go over. I'm going real light, really, really light. If you wanted to, you could always use a little bit of Prismacolor white to blend this. I'll keep coloring as long as you do. Sounds good. I hear I just got lazy and was watching on the big TV. Can't read comments on the big TV. Sounds good, Ellen. No worries. Yeah. Keep trucking along. We got this. Going super light here. Think of them as kind of like winter green berries almost, you know? Second after dust and worse than birch. Oh no. Yeah, so whenever so we had a big hailstorm that rolled through here and it knocked a bunch of like leaves and branches and stuff. And so finally they had the landscaping people come out and they were using their leaf blowers to, clean everything up and whatnot. But the problem is that, knocks a lot of dust and pollen in the air. So now when we go outside, or at least because that's what they were doing yesterday, my daughter wore her mask, even though we were outside and weren't around any other people, but it helped her from, to keep her from breathing in all of the pollen-y stuff. So it was kind of worked out well. All right, sharpening this one, we are going to use number 61. Sounds good, Loretta. Have a great night. Okay, so 61, she takes after my husband in the sense of seasonal allergies, which are just oh so fun. See, I've got skin allergies. Unfortunately, our kids got both of them. Skin allergies and nasal allergies. And it's like, sorry guys. You know, they got a lot of other good traits from us, but we unfortunately passed on all of our allergies. Just a tiny bit on the other. I'm meaning for these to be pretty light, and I'm realizing that I did not lighten that enough there, that there's a pretty harsh line. We're going to go back in with this number 52. Lightly line. There we go. Shabby. If you really wanted to, you could use a little bit of yellow. Bareback breakfast is calling. Okay, Lassie, sounds good. It's super windy here right now, and our back fence blew down this evening. Oh, man. Allie, are you in the US? Using just a tiny bit of number 10. I know the East Coast got hit pretty gnarly with a storm. No. You just simple on the berries, like literally super light. It looks pretty light on stream, but you'll see when I take a picture of it that it's got a little bit of darkness to it. But I specifically wanted them nice and light. I was sneezing my head off earlier today after being outside for maybe 2 minutes. I couldn't wait for my allergy meds to kick in. Yeah, the pollen down here is pretty gnarly. Okay, so we're still gonna go with purple for these vines, but I'm gonna press harder and we're gonna go darker with it. We may go back in with actually a little bit of black for the little shadowy contrasty areas. So we're gonna press harder than we usually do here. Still leaving a little bit there so that we can put a slightly lighter color there to work as kind of a highlight. Purple, I mean, it's all behind these. This will be one of the rare moments in which I use black. Yes, in California. Ah, gotcha. Okay, here we go. Well, you guys got all my childhood stories tonight. Funny thing is like, as I'm telling them though, I try to think before I say them, you know, without, you know, because there is still some level of anonymity that you try to keep. So it's like I try to omit like certain names or key things or whatever. It's always interesting. The funny thing is like, most people that know me through here, you know that I'm fairly guarded, you know, with my actual personal life, 62. But, you know, anecdotes and whatnot are fine. But I find that in my day-to-day life, I find myself, like, catching myself when I'm talking to people I actually know, like friends and stuff. Like, I hesitate saying, like, my husband's name or my kid's name. And then I suddenly realize, like, oh, wait, this is a in real life friend. I don't need to do that. But it's like I'm using 62, by the way. I've trained myself when I'm doing this to, you know, think before I say things, and so I don't even realize that I'm doing it, and it's just hilarious. Like, I almost feel uncomfortable when I talk to people now and I say things, you know, that like give away something about my personal life, and then I remember, oh wait, I'm not actually streaming right this night. I know Emily's using black. I know, right? All right, and then 25. That pink there. No, I don't use black very often. Is your black pencil the longest? No, surprisingly, it's not. There's some pinks that I don't use. Oop, hit the mic. Hi, Iselina. Let's see. So here's the black. This one's pretty light, and this one is pretty long. And that's because this is pink number 20. I prefer pink 25, which is what we were just using. And it's got a lot of similar brown colors. But yeah. And I've since replaced some colors. But yeah, black is surprisingly not that. Because sometimes I'll just color with like do grays and stuff. As it is, that white is a little bit too bright. So I'm going to grab the white. I don't normally use this white to do that, but I'm going to see if this will lighten it a little bit. Ah, it did. Good. Okay. Oh, let's zoom back in. Sorry. There we go. Go over that pink just a little bit. A little bit brighter pink than I ended with. Lighten it just a... Here we go. Just hit my head on the camera. You probably saw my hair. That's so funny when I get down low enough that I'm, you know. Okay, so now we're gonna grab our black and we're just gonna put a little bit at the ends here to kind of create that higher contrast. Yeah, I don't use black very often. It almost feels wrong. Not very much either. Like I probably could have used that. It's a miracle. I used black. It's so funny. Like I'm looking at the stream on my phone because I keep it up so that I can kind of see what you guys are seeing. It helps you manage things, but the colors almost look muted, but I swear they're a little bit darker than they are. Video never translates it as well as you'd like it to in real life. That's why when I try to take pictures, I try to take them, you know, looking as close as possible to the real thing as I can. All right, so we are going to continue with the purple leaves here, and we are going to number 6. Press harder again. These are just going to be like darker purple leaves. Help if I was in frame. Darker purple leaves. The previous ones. No. I have to go. Hubby's waiting to go shopping. Bye all. Thanks, Emily. Sounds good, Aspie. Thanks so much for hanging out. We'll see you later. Hopefully Sunday over at Belinda's stream. That is where I will be at. And if not, I'll be live again on Monday. Let's see. Would it make a difference if white was placed below first? Maybe a little bit, but probably not. It might make the color a little brighter, but I place the white afterwards because it helps to tone it down a little bit. It lightens it. The same could work, I suppose, if you used like a light gray also. But yeah, I generally reserve the white for like when I make a mistake and go too bright or too dark for whatever reason. But yeah, color on top of white will probably just make it brighter. And I suppose that would depend on the kind of pencils you were doing. I think with the Ergosoft, it wouldn't make that big of a difference. With Prismacolor, it probably would. What color will the background be? I was just thinking about that. Zoom out a bit more. The color for the background, I thought pink. I'm not sure. I don't want to do yellow because we've got yellow right here. I don't want to do blue. It's a tough question. We could do green. Green might be nice, actually. Yeah, maybe green. A slightly darker green. It might make these pop a little bit more. Yeah, green might not be bad. All right, 62. Just a little bit of white at the edge of these. Yeah, see, I knew that finishing this wouldn't fill up 2 hours. Like I said, this way we can just start something new on Monday. What would everyone like to color on Monday? Well, we've been doing Johanna for a while. We could do a different artist. Want to do a different artist? Anybody have any suggestions or requests or recommendations? Okay, let's take our number 38. A mint green, but dark would look, yeah, see? Perfect. I use a white as a resist on the first layer to save that space. Oh, there you go, green. Yeah, okay, cool. We're all on the same page. Green it is. Okay, now let's use number 62. All right, let's zoom out now. We want to zoom out so we can see the entire thing. Let's darken that just a bit. There we go. Okay. Yeah, just know that this is slightly more, so it doesn't look too off on the phone. It always looks a little bit lighter on my computer than it usually is. Something with Artezas? Maybe. Do you have any untouched books, Emily? You could do something from those. I do have some untouched books. I've had some books that's been gifted to me. You always do Elisa Matrokin? I actually haven't done Elisa Matrokin. We could do. Hers are a lot of people. I like Lazi's idea. Do you have an Elena Lazareva book? I don't. Okay, so books I have that are, so we've got Rachel Reinert books. Next weekend we'll do Harry Potter. We got the Outlander coloring book. We got Laura Rafferty's circle portraits. I got 2 Kirby Roseanne's Worlds Within Worlds Color Morphia. I've got the Fairies in Dreamland, 2 Millie Murata books. I've got the Time Garden. I've got my Anna Green Gables coloring book by Yalza. I've got 2 Maria Trolls, Twilight Garden and Nightfall. I've got 6 of the Hannah Carlsons. So Joy Box, Spirit Animals, Magical Dawn, Seasons, Daydreams, and Summer Nights. And then the rest of all of them are multiple copies of Johanna Basford. And then, of course, you know, we have options of printouts and stuff like that. But those are the books that I've got. All right, so let's grab these. All right, so we've got number 38, number 5, and number 50. Okay. Harry Potter? I don't have Harry Potter. I need a Harry Potter one. Worlds Within Worlds? Yeah, I've got that one. I started a page in Worlds Within Worlds. I might have cut it out, but I have never... Oh, no, I actually didn't. I started this page, Worlds Within Worlds, but I haven't finished it. I started this one right at the beginning of the pandemic, and I think I was just using this picture to process a lot of stuff. It would be really cool once it's finished. I can't remember what I used. I think Prismacolors. I think I used Prismacolors on this. Personally vote for Time Garden. I haven't done a picture in Time Garden yet. I always love Christina Karen, but somebody scary like Tom McTussa or Kirby Rans. I keep putting him off because I'm scared. Twilight Garden. Yeah, we've got Twilight Garden. The Twilight Garden. Is that Daria Song? Yeah, Time Garden is Daria Song. Her illustrations, I've looked at it multiple times, but they're a little bit different. They feel very digital, which isn't bad. I mean, a lot of my drawings are digital. I mean, like, this is a lot of stars, you know? And so I'm just not quite sure how I would color her pages. I can't tell you how many times I've opened this book and, like, just debated about it. It's not like popping into my head immediately how to color this. So yeah, Harry Potter is next weekend. Oh wait. Yeah, sorry, I don't know what I was thinking. Yeah, Harry Potter's next weekend. Yeah, I do have Harry Potter. I'm sorry. I was thinking of something else. That was my mistake. Yeah, I've got Magical Creatures and this one. Next weekend, I'm going to be coloring this one. Yeah, sorry, I misspoke. I apologize. We're going to be coloring out of this one next weekend. Yeah, there's the schedule right there. I haven't decided which page I'm going to color from this one yet. I have 2 sessions, so I might poke around and see if I can find something I might be able to get done in 2 sessions. But we'll see. There's a fair amount in here. But this one's new. I haven't colored in this one at all yet. Right? Yeah, it's just she has a very different kind of illustrations. I got the book because I got it on clearance. But yeah, I don't think I've colored in Twilight Garden yet either, have I? Yeah, I haven't colored in Twilight Garden yet either. We'll see. We'll see. I've pulled out the ones you guys suggested, so I'll take a look at the books and see what pops out at me. And then depending on what kind of page we choose, that will decide what pencils we use. All right, let's see. So number 38. Yeah, and then sky's the limit with printed ones. I mean, because I've got a printer, so I can print any that I like. Kind of just color into the side because I want this to be a nice kind of gentle background like we did for the others. I got a Daria San book in a charity shop. Yeah, it was actually, forget which store it was, but the store was going out of business. And so they had everything way marked down. And I recognized the name, and I knew a lot of the colorists that were in the groups had mentioned it. And so I took advantage of there being a sale, and I was just like, well, I'll get it, and maybe I'll color it at some point. But I've had that book for maybe 4 years and still have yet to start a page in it. A Doctor Who page? I don't have the book, Lassie. I need to get that. Maybe I should put that on my wish list at some point, the Doctor Who coloring book. I feel like it's kind of like the Harry Potter ones, though, and the other ones with the thicker lines. I would maybe need to, like, redraw it to my liking. But, yeah, I need to get a Doctor Who coloring book. Well, there's a lot of Doctor Who stuff I'd like to have, but that's a whole other story. Are you doing a fairy Quidditch arena for Harry Potter? A fairy Quidditch arena? I didn't even think about that. It's not on the list. Oh my gosh, I have so much stuff I need to draw. I still got to get all the dresses done. I have, I think 9 done so far. So I have the Gone with the Wind dresses, and I still have the fairy houses. So loads to color. Or not color, to draw. There's never a shortage of stuff to draw. That is for sure. Oh, print one off Etsy if there are any. Oh, could be in a pumpkin. Oh, that would be cute. Yeah, that's a good idea, Lozzie. I'll have to poke around, see if there's a good Doctor Who coloring page, because I could do that. Love me a TARDIS. We could color a TARDIS. Be down with that. I'll have to poke around on Etsy and see what there is. I could draw my own TARDIS. Good. Very geometric lines. I'm not pushing too hard either. I'm going pretty light for the first layer, and then we can always go back and go heavier later. And like I said, when I get a picture of this, you'll get more of the idea of what the true colors are. I feel like that's a song. True colors. Maybe it's my own song. Oh, turns. Oh, drop a pencil. There we go. Dropped a pencil. Julie from Julie's Passion for Coloring did a video of her coloring the page with all the stars in the time garden. You guys should check it out when you can. Yeah. How long did it take her to do it? That's impressive. Me, if I'm coloring too much of the same thing, I get a little bored with it. If I'm perfectly honest, I need variety, especially if it's something I'm gonna, take the time to really color well, 1 second. My phone's about to die. I need to plug it in. One moment. Better, better, better. I know I'm turning it, but it's the best way to get the right angles that I need to color this correctly. All right, let's go in with our other green, and then we'll do our third green, and then probably do another layer. Oh, I missed a section. There we go. Like I colored more. Just the. There we go. All right, now let's go in with our number 5. Start up at the top here. Oh, you watched The Princess Bride. That's awesome. Well, we started reading the book to the kids. You know, they're not they're getting older, you know, to the age where maybe we might start introducing them to other stories, but they're super sensitive to anything they watch. They don't like, you know, a lot of conflict and stuff, but I'm trying to slowly introduce them to other storylines rather than just, you know, like Mickey Mouse and Paw Patrol. And, you know, I'd like to get them excited about books. And so I thought about letting them watch The Princess Bride, but I didn't, you know, I didn't want them to be frightened by it or anything. So I figured if we read the book, I could, you know, take it slow and, you know, omit certain things. But we have just finished chapter 1 where Buttercup thinks that Wesley is dead, and my oldest said she doesn't want to continue, you know, and I'll tell her, like, you know, not, you know, spoiler alert, by the way, but I was just like, you know, he's not, Buttercup only thinks he is, he's not really, don't worry, the whole book is about, you know, Wesley and Buttercup, and she's still like not so sure. But I feel like if I can get her past that and get to, you know, the part where, you know, they meet again and, you know, the funny parts, like she might be able to, you know, start to really enjoy the book and start to understand that there's more to stories than just, you know, stories without conflict, you know. So we're working on it. So I got, you know, a nice big one, and we read a whole chapter, and I read for like 45 minutes, and she seemed intrigued. But, you know, things like, she's young enough that she doesn't understand things like, you know, when people fall in love. So she's just like, what are they doing? Like, why is this is weird. So, you know, slow introductions to be sure, but thought that it would be a good way to kind of introduce them to other kinds of stories. I can't wait until they're old enough for Harry Potter. I would love to read them Harry Potter. Let's see. Shining through to see your true colors. Yes, that's what it was. Okay. I'm not sure exactly because her videos are timeless, but she's amazing. I love her work. Oh, awesome. You can use a generator to pick a random book and page. We could do that. We have this thing here. Let me see if I can pull it up. Is it this? See if it pops up. There we go. Okay, so we have this wheel that we set up where you can do, you can put in your own stuff. So here, let me show you how it works real quick. Let me log in. So I go to Streamlabs and we can go into it, and then we can spin the wheel and it chooses it for us. So we'd have to be, you know, pretty particular. So here, let me go to the wheel. So you can see right now it's got pencil names on it, but we can put in as many choices or whatever we want. And then what we do is we spin the wheel, and then, see? Oh yeah, that was Windows. When Donna was around more, she really didn't like the word widows for Black Widows, so we called it the Black Window pencils. Yay, I'm back for the end. Yeah, we're still working on the background, so we'll get it. I do that all the time when I can't decide what to color. Writer needs us. Rebel on the double. Oh my gosh, yes. Because our internet was out, they actually got to watch cable, and they discovered that there's going to be a new Paw Patrol episode where there's going to be a new dog, and they're like, it's on the 26th. We got to watch it. So yeah, it's a fun little wheel. You just put in whatever you want and spin the wheel. Oh, yeah. You can edit it. There we go. Polychromos. So yeah, it's pretty fun. Let's see. My mom enrolled me in 4 book clubs when I was 5. Oh my goodness. Is this a kissing book? Oh, it's exactly that, Patty. She was so like confused about it. My sister-in-law made her kids do a book report. Oh, how funny. See, she's in grade school now. You know, I won't say what grade, but she is in grade school now, and I need to just feel like I need to start broadening her horizons a little bit, you know? So it's slow process. Joining book clubs are good. It helps to express your inner reflection. Exactly. I just generate a random number, count to that number of books on my shelf, and then do the same thing for that page. But the wheel is very cool too. I like the wheel. The wheel's fun. Like we set it up once with like illustrators, like which illustrator we want to do. I don't do the pencil choice one as often because I really feel like with my pencil choices, it has a lot to do with what we're coloring and what effect I want to get. You know, so if it's a larger space, I might do a softer color pencil than a harder one. But yeah, I think that once we, you know, start to meet Inigo and Fezzik and, you know, like inconceivable, I don't know. It might be a little too... I would like to also at some point read them The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, but I know that the witch could be really scary. So it's same thing with, you know, her little minions and stuff and, you know... and so what I did is I know the story well enough that I told them an abridged version of the story. You know, I didn't read it, but, you know, I told them kind of what happens in the story, you know, over the course of about 10, 15 minutes. And they were okay with my way of telling the story, but they still got a little nervous. So they are definitely not in any means ready for The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. But eventually... you know, I would love for them to read that as well. Okay, now we're going to grab number 50. And same thing, we're going to go over all the greens and then fade this down. I'm going to change the tone of the greens a little bit as well. But okay. Moving less from a cooler green to a slightly warmer green. Oh, I'm singing. I don't even know if you guys can hear the music. Let's turn it up a little bit. I can see French Savage grumping about this book and your daughter totally agreeing with him. I know, right? Well, and she just seemed, because it's, you know, the book is definitely different than the movie. There's a lot of stuff that the movie doesn't, you know, go in the book. And of course, you know, you can't put everything in a book in a movie. And so there was a lot of things, because I actually haven't read the book before. I just saw the movie, and obviously, you know, we love the movie. Yeah, so, you know, I chose kind of the wording, some of the wordings a little bit differently, but we definitely did have to stop the book a few times and talk about things because, you know, she just didn't quite understand what was going on. So I had to stop and break it down, which is simple terms, which is good because, you know, she's thinking about the book a little bit more and trying to understand it. But yeah. Oh, you can hear it? Okay. Don't want to make it too loud. Sounds good, Shara. Have a great night. I read The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe in 4th grade, so I was 10. The last time a book scared me, I was 12 years old, and in the book, they used bells to bring souls back. Oh, what book was that, Emma? First time I read Harry Potter, I was in junior high. I was 8th grade, and I absolutely loved it. Absolutely, absolutely. And I got hooked and, you know, read the books like crazy. I think I read book 4. I was reading it so quickly. I don't read as much nowadays. I like audiobooks better just because, you know, I'm always trying to get things done. But I think I finished book 4 in like 6 or 8 hours. But like I sat down and read that thing and you couldn't pull me away from it. I remember my mom called me to dinner and like I brought the book with me to the dinner table and was like reading at the table. And that was when book 4 came out. I mean, they were good books. But I think that even like if I had the illustrated version with all the pictures, I think it would just be too much for them. I have a wallet full of printed pages and I look through to see what strikes me. Oh, there you go. It was Serial, I believe, of the Abhorsen series. I'm not familiar with that. Garth Nix. Huh, interesting. Yeah, I'm not totally familiar with that, but I totally get that. That would probably terrify me too. I definitely, just like, you know, like movies and stuff that I like, I definitely like fantasy style stories, you know. anything with magic, you know, dragons, you know, anything with, you know, like outer space, and like sci-fi and fantasy is definitely one of my favorite genres. Okay, do I want to add a little bit of yellow? I might add just a tiny bit of yellow. 3 days max me for book 7, yeah. I don't remember the other ones. I just remember number 4 I finished really fast and I was really proud of myself for it, and that's the only reason I remember the hours, but I literally did nothing but read that book. I think I did it on a weekend and I just sat in my room and read and read and read. It must have been totally blissful for my parents. Their daughter was just quiet and happy and not making a sound all day. Let me have full reign of the library at lunch. Nice. A little bit of yellow here. Yeah, see, I'm glad we worked on this. This would not have filled up next stream at all. We were better off just finishing. Okay, now that I have this done, I want to change a little bit of something on the berries. Let's grab number 63. And I want to add a little bit more colors on the berries to make them pop just a bit. Oh, wrong direction. My library named her dog after me. Oh, how funny. Most of y'all would have loved to read Animal Farm and Little Women. Oh, yeah, most definitely. I thought about getting my niece Little Women, but she's not, because she loves to read. But I wasn't sure how it would go over, just because, you know, any book where a character dies, I hesitate a little bit, just because, you know, that's a little bit heavier stuff and you need to have the emotional capacity to maybe understand it and process it. Otherwise it might, you know, bother more than it probably should. So waited, but maybe in another year or two she could be ready for it. I'm using 63, by the way. A little bit of blue there, make it pop. Okay, let's zoom out. Have you read any of the David Eddings books? It sounds familiar. What has he written? Okay, let's zoom out. What do we think, folks? Did I miss anything? I think we got everything. You started reading them in 6th grade? Yeah, I think junior high is when really you can break into reading and really, really enjoy it. Go. See, it looks so much lighter on stream, but I swear it's a little bit darker than it actually. We'll darken this one more time. I'll take a picture of it and you can see what it is. We're going to do a picture of all 4 tonight and then I'll post it. But look, we got it done. It really wasn't that much later. I mean, it's 11:17. We only needed like another 45 minutes to finish it. 45 minutes, half an hour? It wasn't even 45 minutes, I don't think. The Belgrade Maliorances. I haven't seen it. Is it a sci-fi fantasy one? Let me write it down here. Okay, so it is David Eddings. Belgrade. Okay. Written down. I'll check it out after stream. Can't find a better fantasy author? Oh, awesome. Well, yeah, I'll check him out. The Unicorns of Balinor got me to read. I had a book in my hands from 10 years old until I was 18. That's awesome. Totally fantasy. Cool. I'll check it out. Lynn Curlin, his fantasy series is fantastic. Awesome. Pride and Prejudice. Yes, that's also very good. Elizabeth and Mr. Darcy. And Curland. Okay. Awesome. Well, I'll look those up. All right, let's see. Let's do back to there we go. Here, let's move up a little bit. Oof, 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 oof. And let's get this in focus here. Out of focus at the moment. There we go. Here we go. Okay. Well, they're all done. So we have Faber-Castell Polychromos, Prismacolor Premier colored pencils, Arteza watercolor pencils, and Staedtler Ergosoft color pencils. I'll put a, it's past midnight on my end. Yeah, it's 11:19 here. Let's see, summer of 76, I was sick and read the whole John Jakes American series. Oh, awesome. Also, the redemption of I can't talk. Alphalus. All right. Well, I need to go get a snack, and I have a few more things I need to accomplish tonight. So I am going to head out. But thank you so much, everyone, for sticking around. We finished it up. We finally finished this page. It only took us like 7 streams to do it, but we got it all done, and it was fun trying it out. I love chatting with you all. So this was good. This was fun. All right. Well, everyone have a great weekend. Don't forget, Sunday, 7 p.m. my time. I'll have the information on Insta and Facebook and stuff later. I will be over at Color with Faithful Girls channel. We're going to build some little mini doll kit houses, so it should be good fun. Then we'll be live again Monday night. And then that following weekend, it will be the Harry Potter Colorathon. So be sure to check those out. Put it all on your calendar. I'll go ahead and set up, schedule some streams so you can put reminders. But I'll have all the information for you for Sunday stream either later tonight or tomorrow. So we'll see how late I decide I want to stay up. But either way, thanks again for everybody hanging out. Thanks again to Charlotte for becoming our newest member, as well as Mark Oatman for also becoming a member. And I think that is about it. All right. Everyone have a great weekend. Thank you so much for being here. I love you all. Bye.